are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait and you will be joined into the conference.
All right, you and Councilmember?
Please announce yourself.
Councilwoman Akandu Uwaka.
All right. Okay, we're going and continue.
Madam Mayor, so can we make an amendment to the agenda? Last week at the work session, we weren't all here present, and therefore we can't vote on the new business that's at hand.
Yeah.
Or the approval of the minutes.
Yeah, and that's true. I realize that. I hope everyone has the opportunity to receive all your paperwork.
I haven't got it out of my box yet.
You didn't get yours? What about other council members? Oh, boy. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do. First of all, I'm gonna go and open the meeting up, and then we'll take it from there. Because I know we have one of our citizens, Ms. Wilder, thank you for coming. And I know you have someone else with you. I'm gonna go on and officially get started with the meeting. I wanna say thanks to everyone for attending this evening. And, you know, we're improvising, working out things the best way we can. When we had a meeting here on Saturday with Senator Benson, it worked out so well until we decided to go on and just do the lower level meeting again. But you know, there are always some things you have to improvise for. And you never know when you go online for a conference call, whether they're gonna be ready and attentive to you. You don't know which one is gonna be doing what with Zoom. But anyway, we're here, and we're here to do the business of the town. Now, I just want to say welcome to everyone. Welcome to the Mayor and Town Council meeting for the month of April. The date is April 21st. The year is 2021. May God bless us all. We're gonna proceed on down the agenda.
Mayor, you're fading out already. Earlier I could hear you perfectly fine, but you're already fading.
I'm coming back to my seat. I had gotten off to go to the middle. So I'm back in my seat. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's fine. Thank
Good.
you.
Okay. All right, I just walked to the middle so that everyone that's in the building could hear me. Okay. So we're going to continue down the agenda. And at this time, Madam Clerk of the Council, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Martin,
Present.
Councilmember Huckabee Walker.
One moment, I'm not understanding, why Mrs. Fan is calling the roll when not more than Saturday. She said she would not be doing any clerking until after we made our decision in reference to her resignation.
Okay. Well, we have Mrs. Fan as clerk to the council. Mrs. Tucker is not here. So she's the only other person that calls the roll.
I'm just only going by the statement that she made here in our meeting before the senator, before the audience, and before the mayor and council.
Okay, well, at this time, I'll accept suggestions as to which direction we should go.
The video live view could take the minutes. We can have him transcribe the minutes.
Who?
No, that's not in accordance to the charter.
That would be transcribed and it can be done.
No, that's not following the
Okay.
order of the
Oh,
charter.
yeah. We don't have,
We don't say the name of the council, the work session.
well, I don't think we should do that in town hall, we discuss something like that. So, you know, we have too much important business at hand,
The video
and,
counts for recording the minutes. The minutes can be transcribed and it can be transcribed word for word and would only take him, as he said, and we can check, him 2 days to do it. So that can stand for the minutes.
This is a decision that's being made that nobody's called for a motion for, Madam Mayor. You can open up the meeting.
I already
He's
opened,
recording.
I opened the meeting.
Call the roll, Madam Mayor.
I have opened
You
the
can
meeting.
call the roll, call the roll.
And,
You
I
can call
mean,
the
I
roll.
can call the roll, I can do the minutes.
It's a simple fix.
It's not a problem. We cannot cancel the meeting for something like that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna proceed on down. I have forgiven fans. Okay, Councilmember Upton Walker.
Present.
Councilmember Morgan.
Councilmember Morgan.
Here.
Councilmember
Councilmember
Hargrove.
Hargrove.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Morris.
Councilmember Morris.
Councilmember Wader.
Councilmember Wader.
All right, everyone's
All right,
present.
everyone's present.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to continue
We're going
on
to
down
continue
there.
on down there.
I hope
I
that
hope
everyone received in your boxes some minutes that were from
February
February 9th
9th
work session.
work session.
As everyone has the
Everyone
opportunity
has the
to review those
opportunity to
minutes.
review those minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, how many
Okay,
other
how
people
many
have the
other people
opportunity
have
to
the
review?
opportunity to review?
Are you referring to the packet that you provided us with in our box?
February 9th work session.
Work
Yeah.
session.
Okay, I don't have them.
Madam Mayor, may I comment? Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The council for the February 9th minutes, the council has them because they were sent back for correction. That correction was made. Ms. Fan sent an email, the conversation went back and forth, so there was only one word that was supposed to be changed in the February 9th minutes. So the ones that that probably have not been viewed, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, we had these marked in the month of March, so we should be reviewing March minutes. But February minutes we had them in front of us last month. They were not approved because Councilmember Hargrove wanted something changed. The email went out with that change has been made, so there is no reason why we can't pass these minutes or review them. They were reviewed last month with
They were from
correction.
the month.
With correction.
With February
With
9th
correction,
work
this is
session.
February, not March minutes.
Okay, all right, Councilmember Hargrove.
Councilmember Hargrove.
You didn't receive February 9th work
February
session
9th
minutes
work
at all?
session minutes
They
at
were
all?
emailed.
And I haven't received the corrections from the February 9th, minutes as well.
So, Madam Mayor, you sent an email to everyone, or a text message asking us specifically to get the material and review them before this meeting.
This is the
That-
material that I picked up out my box, and there were no minutes.
There was no minutes.
There's no minutes attached.
Mayor, I picked up mine out of the box too, there was no minutes.
Did you get an
Ms.
email
Fan,
with
did
those
you not
minutes?
forward this in the email, Ms. Fan?
I
Did
was
you
not
forward it
here
to an
last
email to
week.
everyone?
Okay.
We got her hand up.
Okay.
After.
Okay,
Okay,
Ms. Fan.
Ms. Fan.
Yesterday, I placed them in everyone's box.
She said yesterday? Oh, I didn't come in yesterday.
Look in your box, you would have found it.
There's still some papers
In
upstairs.
addition to that, I sent it via email.
Email.
Mayor, I didn't come in
So if
yesterday.
you check
We've
your
been
box
having.
and check your email, you will find it in both places. I didn't
Okay.
receive it,
Okay.
email or from the box. May I show the Madam Mayor in the text message?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
fine.
okay.
We all
Okay.
got it.
All right,
All
well,
right, well.
these minutes are gonna have to be
These minutes are gonna have to
approved.
be approved.
You didn't receive
You
yours
didn't receive
either,
yours
Councilmember?
Councilmember?
Madam Mayor, can I make a suggestion?
Mayor, that email came out on Monday or Tuesday. I was here Monday or Tuesday, around here at the town hall. There was no minutes in the box. Whatever day you sent the email out, I came around and got mine. It was late in the evening, but there were no minutes in that box, in mine anyway.
Madam Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes.
Yeah.
The council has not read the minutes again. This is from February. We had them last month. There was one correction.
saying it,
That correction was noted in an email to everyone. But to fix it, can we just read them into public record?
We can read them.
Yeah.
I
Read them
think
into
we
public
can.
record. Read them
I'm
into
okay
public
with
record.
that.
They can have a copy, but read it into public
I'm
record.
okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I think I have my copy down here. Let me see
We
your,
cannot hear the other speakers. We can only hear you. This is not an executive meeting.
okay.
We can't hear.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Mic on?
You all make sure your mic is
Make sure your
on.
mic is on.
All right, I'm
All right, I'm
gonna
gonna
read
read
these
these
into the public
into the
record.
public record.
And these are the
And
mayor
these
and
are the
town
mayor and
council
town
minutes for
council minutes
Tuesday,
for
February
Tuesday,
9th,
February
2021.
2021.
Work session
Work
minutes.
session minutes.
Present, for Mayor
President for
Martin,
Mayor Martin,
Councilmember
Councilmember
Waiters,
Waiters,
Councilmember Mars,
Councilmember Mars,
Councilmember
Councilmember
Morgan,
Morgan,
Councilmember
Councilmember
Hargrove,
Hargrove,
Association, Mr. Barnhart, and Mr. Sypak. The 7:30 opening was done by Mayor Lily Thompson Martin. There was a moment of silence. Mayor Martin greeted everyone online and shared how public could participate. Mayor Martin introduced new clerk to the council, Ms. Arlene Span. Roll call by clerk to the council. Mayor Martin informed residents the staff reports were received on 2/4/21 at the staff meeting and will be heard at the town meeting on 2/17/21. She then moved to number one item on agenda under new business. Councilmember Hargrove asked the location on the agenda to go into closed executive session. Mayor Martin pointed out the location at the bottom of the agenda sheet. Councilmember Upton Walker requested an agenda amendment to include the recommended letters the treasurer presented at the staff meeting for review. She stated she saw the draft for the parking study in bulk trash, but did not see one for business license, rental agreement, and vacant lots. Mayor Martin stated she asked the treasurer if letters were to be read for work session, and her response was not yet. Councilmember Ukandu Walker discussed the four letters further. Mayor Martin inquired if everyone had a chance to review the letters. She stated first the letters had to be reviewed: bulk trash, parking study, business license, rental agreement, and vacant lots to be reviewed. Mayor Martin moved down to new business items. Number one, bulk trash prices while moving to bulk trash. Councilmember Waiters asked the mayor for old business to be discussed about an old resolution which was introduced on February the 9th, 2016, concerning FHR 04-16. She stated she had a copy. It was adopted the 17th of February 2016 with one page missing. She wanted to have the resolution mentioned for introduction for discussion either in town meeting or next month. She explained that the resolution was adopting the meeting rules of the town council of Fairmount Heights, and that it goes on to speak to the rules of meeting etiquette. She further stated because it was passed in 2016 that the current mayor and council might not be aware of the content. Councilmember Waiters proposed that it be read and shared that it was already passed to be current and acted on and active, and that it be read in the town meeting. Mayor Martin asked if she wanted the resolution to be read in the town meeting. Councilmember Waiters responded, read it in town meeting and council be served a copy. Since it is an existing resolution that some might not be aware of, and because it applies to our current administration. Councilmember Waiters was asked to repeat the resolution number. She answered FHR 04-16, which adopted the meeting rules for town and council members of Fairmount Heights. She read the signatures that appeared. Councilmember Waiters as the mayor, Councilmember Andina Keith as vice chair, Councilmember Jacqueline Wood Dodson, Councilmember Patricia Ukandu Uwaka, Councilmember Timothy Burley, Councilmember Sherry Downing, whose signature is missing, and Councilmember Sean Holder, adopted the 17th of February 2016. Councilmember Hargrove voiced that she did not think anything should be read into this section, that they had not had the opportunity to review what it is. She discussed that nothing should be read into minutes that the sitting council said not had the opportunity to review. The reason she is saying that is because if this is the same on that was working from council before, it died on the floor because I think it was attached to council decorum. And if the same resolution, it died because it was attached to something else. Mayor Martin clarified there were two different resolutions and that this one had passed in 2016. Councilmember Waiters stated as a point of correction and explained the difference in two resolution addition resolution she introduced to mayor and council for decorum speaks differently. Waiters clarified she was not asking that this resolution be read in this meeting, but that it be, or in next work session, be reviewed. She clarified the purpose is it had content for conduct for mayor and council during a meeting. Mayor Martin suggested placing the resolution as an agenda item for the March 2021 work session. Councilmember Morris asked if everyone could get a copy of the resolution. Councilmember Waiters answered that the resolution should be on file and must be pulled for council to read before the March meeting. Number one, new business bulk trash prices. Mayor Martin moved on to new business and read the list of bulk trash items. She initiated discussion of bulk trash prices and questioned if everyone had reviewed the price list. Mayor asked for price suggestions for items, large bundles, small bundles, and bed frames that need prices. Councilmember Waiters interrupted and stated that people online said they could not hear. Mayor Martin read the list of items. Councilmember Wood Dodson asked clarification of bundles versus tree mulching and discussed that there would need to be a machine for mulching and someone to oversee. Councilmember Hargrove discussed that mulching had come up before. Councilmember Wood Dodson stated it was about composting before. Councilmember Waiters discussed the difference between mulch and compost, leaf collection versus yard waste, and suggested call to see what it costs to dump and encourage leaf mulching because Department of the Environment charges per pound. She suggested getting the green team involved. More discussion ensued concerning pricing items like air conditioners, bookcases, large bundles, and small bundles. Citizen Mrs. Syfax complained over the phone of not being able to hear the discussion. Councilmember Waiters discussed further the difference between mulch and compost. Councilmember Hargrove suggested a $100 large, $50 small bundle after more discussion. Councilmember Morris suggested surcharges and drew a diagram. Citizen Mrs. Syfax complained of the inability to hear the discussion online. Mayor Martin restated that Councilmember Morris will be finalizing the diagram for the bulk trash price list, and it will be sent to everyone's email. And when they come to the town meeting, they can do the official vote. She stated that if anyone calls, there would be no discrepancies about charges to have items removed. Number two is the draft parking study. Mayor Martin moved down to the parking study and asked if everyone had their draft. Mayor Martin read the study. Brief discussion ensued. Citizens said they're not able to hear. Councilmember Morris discussed to add vacant lot plans for K Street. Councilmember Hargrove suggested action item for March lot study. Councilmember Waiters explained the parking study to citizens on the conference line. Councilmember Waiters shared about economic development and explained that the vacant lots were not big enough to put a house, but a plan for tiny houses discussed in the stakeholders meeting. Councilmember Morris interjected the 50 by 100, and Mayor Martin explained that's how you get the 5,000. Councilmember Waiters read the rules to the public. She also read categories drawn by Councilmember Morris. Number three is action for 708 62nd Avenue, Mrs. Wong. Mayor Martin discussed Mrs. Wong's house has things hanging from trees, and code enforcement received a letter from the attorney from Severna Park about the vacant lot at 708 and 704 in bad condition, and that's on 62nd. Mayor Martin discussed more about the attorney concerning 708 62nd Avenue about a tax lien. Mayor stressed that this situation has been going on for many years. Mayor would talk with attorney in Severna Park. Councilmember Ukandu Walker asked, does the property currently have a lien on it? Mayor will ask the attorney about the lien. Number four, Black History Program plans and participation for all members. Mayor Martin asked Councilmember Waiters to give step-by-step of what's happening during Black History Month. Councilmember Waiters explains the dates and the times of Black History activities. She expresses this would be a time for discussion and a time to honor older residents like Mrs. Graves. She shared that asked a team to come in to discuss. After brief discussion, Mayor Martin asked councilmember Waiters to share with fellow council members what they can do to participate. Mayor stated this is an opportunity for everyone to talk a few minutes because this will be historical times. Councilmember Waiters discussed having people come in to do the depiction using stories that are unique experiences. Mayor Martin asked, are there any questions about the Black History celebration? Okay, item A is the mayor's update. Shared the food giveaway at 6419 Marlboro Pike, 12:30 Friday, and Love AME Church, 1401 Mercantile Lane, Saturday at 12:30. She informed of the new thermometer and stated a log will be placed by it to record temperatures. She read a notice from WSSC advising A&M Construction will be replacing aging pipes and is be projected to be completed by January of 2022. The work hours will be from 8 to 5. She further read WSSC will give 48 hours advance notice and any vehicle will be towed to a nearby street at no cost to the owner. Mayor suggested letters be sent to every home. Mayor questioned when the newsletter will be sent out. She discussed about Chris Van Hollen's concern with students' online learning service from Comcast not working well. She shared that he wrote in the letter emergency authorities to connect students to online services. He talked about USPS delays. Mayor Martin shared a message from Senator Ben Cardin about a mail carrier. She shared mail is delivered on the town hall side. She reported the poor condition of the Capitol Heights post office. Item B is the council member update. Council member Hargrove discussed that she and Mrs. Walker are working on vacant lot ordinance ready for the March update. She placed 2 Black History cartoons for kids on the TV station, rotating those things out. Questions ensued about other things being placed on the TV station. Mayor Martin inquired if her video had been placed there. Councilmember Dodson asked, can some of the information about COVID be put on TV also? Councilmember Hargrove responded, when there was information about COVID, she got complaints and she took it off. A discussion developed. Councilmember Wood Dodson suggested it could be selective of COVID-19 to share. Councilmember Uckadu Walker reported and expressed, put out a flyer giving a gift card to the citizens on a drive-through as long as they last. Mayor Martin asked in place of food as what denominations. Councilmember Uckadu Walker commented the $10 minimum. Mayor Martin suggested verifying they are town residents. Councilmember Morgan suggested citizens bring ID. Councilmember Morris asked what date Councilmember Uckadu Walker answered maybe March 6th. Mayor asked how everyone feels about it. Citizens on the conference line interjected that it's a bad idea. I'm getting near the end. You all please bear with me. Councilmember Waiters discussed she wanted to add efforts. She stated gets fresh produce and fruits that comes in a small bag and that can be added to gift cards. UCAP offers bags of groceries. Councilmember Waiters reported recap economic development meeting had to be and print out from meeting. Presentation that is interactive. The enterprise zone map. November delivered hot meals, 30 Thanksgiving baskets. Discuss the art show and development stage take place in April. Net zero scheduled meeting for February 11th. Ask the mayor and the council to review and be ready for the meeting. She stated there will be a stakeholders meeting on February 18th. She had her COVID vaccine. She mentioned delegates Jacqueline Steele McCall placed in that seat information because that seat covers Prince George's County. Redistricting 5, people pay attention with the economic development. 254 review to be ready for Senator Benson's meeting. She shared to be concerned with special education students struggling with distance learning. Councilmember Dodson reported stated to be a part of the Black History celebration cultural norms. In November, 100 hot meals in the community, held with the Democratic Central Committee delivery to be sure seniors were recognized especially. Anyone knows of other seniors that need recognizing in the community, call Town Hall to be added to the list of seniors. Working with the art show with Councilmember Waiters. Councilmember Morris reported newsletter, everyone's submission due by May 1st. Working with Mrs. Zarumi and Councilmember Hargrove to get a flyer out. Helping Councilmember Akandu Walker with her project. He will give away $50 gift cards to be given at random. And if everyone in the room gave $50, he would give $200 in the giving spirit, donate 500 calendars for 2021. Signs for the town offer $1,000 worth printing for new signs for town of Fairmont Heights. The only caveat, use his designers and town work out how much they charge, and he will not be in that part. As soon as town is ready, town will let him know. Councilmember Morgan, no report, only needed net zero housing date time. Councilmember Waiter stated that she forgot to mention the scavenger hunt. The information will be on the website, putting together a form and prizes to put in treasure hunt treasure chest. Mayor Martin thanked everyone and asked for any statements for the good of the organization online. Okay, here's where we came in with the comments. We're very close to the end. The citizens' comments, Mr. Barnhart questioned the Fairmont Heights seal. Hargrove brought it up a few months back. The seal or logo. Mayor Martin asked if he wanted Councilmember Hargrove to address his question about the logo. Mr. Barnhart replied with the question, where in the process of the logo, some feel logo has racist-like chains. Councilmember Hargrove responded, the logo approved and the resolution done about 2 years ago. You can request a copy of that resolution. That was approved by the mayor and the council, right? Ms. Syfax asked if she could add something. I seriously want to be a part of this economic development committee. I've asked over the years, and I consider a formal request, would like to know who is on the economic development team, and minutes know when it meets. She would like some assurance that she and other citizens be a part of the Economic Development Committee, and that she and other citizens can be and will be included in economic development. Mayor Martin responded she didn't think that would be a problem. Mayor stated there is a major member here on the council. Mayor explained notices have been going out when meetings are held. Councilmember Morgan added economic development meets every fourth Thursday. Ms. Syfax stated meetings are sporadic. She voiced concerns about the comprehensive plans being done. She shared she, as well as other citizens, really want to be involved in the decisions being made on land use in the town. She asked that her request be recorded in the minutes. She asked it to be clearly written. Mayor Martin expressed and asked Councilmember Waiters to discuss economic development and land use. A motion for adjournment was made by Councilmember Morgan and seconded by Councilmember Akandu Walker, and the meeting adjourned at 9:59. Typed by Mrs. Arlene Spann, clerk to the council. That is it in its final stages. So are there any other things that needed to be added from these minutes? That's yours, Councilmember. Mine is upstairs. Thank you.
I just need to go back to the Black History Program. My question was omitted about having other people participate in the program, and the statement made by Councilwoman Wood Dodson, which I was referring to my daughter. She stated that she didn't live in the town, and that would exclude her.
It was women's history.
When did
That
that-
wasn't
So
Black
what
history.
page, what page was that on?
That was women's history.
I'm referring
Women's
to,
history, okay.
That was
Yeah.
Black history. That
Women's
was
history.
women's
Women's
history.
history, not black.
Okay,
It was.
women's history,
Yeah,
Mom.
that was women's history, when we read those that had deceased. That was all that we read, the deceased names for the women's history month.
that's my comment in reference to that.
Okay. All right, are there any other corrections that need to be added to these minutes so we can go on and get these approved? Any other additions? Okay. At this time, I will accept the motion for approval of the minutes for February the 9th for our work session.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes for February 9th of work session. Are there any questions on the motion? If there are no questions, I will call the roll. I'll do it right according to this list here. Mayor Martin, aye. Councilmember Akindu-Waka,
No.
Councilmember Morgan,
Aye.
Councilmember Hargrove, Councilmember Morris. Huh? Okay. Councilmember Waiters,
Aye.
okay, let me see, did I miss anyone?
Johnson.
Councilmember Wood Dodson,
Aye.
okay. All right, the ayes have it, those minutes have been approved. Okay. Okay, we're going to continue on down the agenda, and I want to say, Lieutenant Ivy, would you step up to the mic? And, because we want to make sure that everyone hears you. I want to give a special thanks to Lieutenant Ivy for being in here this evening. He's been in training for the last 3 days, and he went to training, I don't know whether it was 8 o'clock this morning, 9 o'clock this morning, or whatever time he went, and he asked me, should he come in and actually give a report this evening? So I said, if you would please, that would be helpful. So he's here, and I want to say thank you for doing that, Lieutenant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and citizens. For the month of March 2021,
I don't think they on.
it's on.
Oh, yeah,
I got
put
it
your
on.
your mic up.
I got
It's
it on. I got it on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Testing, 1, 2, testing. He's saying it's on. Can y'all hear me now?
No, I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay. Okay, so go ahead. Okay. For the month of March 20, okay, for the month, let me stand up. For the month of March 2021, the total calls for 199 calls for service for the month of March.
Is your
Okay.
phone on?
Just a moment. Just a moment.
Still using it too? Okay.
Yeah, see if you're coming through better, cause
Can you hear me now? Ma'am, can you hear me?
oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the cause of interest consisted of a non-critical missing person report that was determined by the nature of the call while on scene while the investigation was being conducted. Next, a welfare check for an unresponsive subject and a parked vehicle who initially became responsive during the investigation while on scene. While determining their status, a cracked pipe was observed in the vehicle. Emergency medical services arrived on scene and checked the subject recovering from their condition. Paraphernalia was collected and placed into the property. The arrested subject was issued a criminal citation. Next, an armed person report where officers were informed that the family member making threats had access to a knife. Family members refused to press charges, and a field observation report was noted while on scene. Concerning updates, a meeting with UCAP President and CEO, Ms. Rashida Harriet, with the Fairmont Heights Police Department and the Code Enforcement Unit. We were given an update on the Eastern Avenue Senior Citizens Housing UCAP building that is to be built on the old lot of the Melvis Crab House. It was discussed and will be further brought to the table with the mayor and the council about the police department establishing a community policing partnership with the senior citizens housing complex that would come. Senator Ben Cardin on the Maryland General Assembly on police reform during the 2021 session, where a number of proposals were introduced. I'll share briefly some of those proposals. One consisted of use of force. Concerning the police officers, use of force and deadly use of force except under certain circumstances. The no-knock warrant, limiting the circumstances under which no-knock warrants may be utilized. Duty to intervene, a duty to intervene to stop or prevent any use of excessive force. The Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights, repealing and establishing an alternate discipline process for police officers. Independent investigations, requiring an independent investigative agency to investigate a shooting involving any police officer or other incident involving the use of force by a police officer causing death or serious bodily injury. Body-worn cameras, requiring that law enforcement agents require the use of body-worn cameras. That is to be established no later than the year of 2025 for all police departments. Duty to report misconduct and whistleblower protection, requiring a police officer to report misconduct if the officer has actual knowledge or certain behavior of another officer. The Maryland Public Information Act, providing that a record relating to a formal complaint of job-related misconduct made against any police officer, including an investigation, record, or hearing record, or a disciplinary decision, is not a personnel record for purpose of the Maryland Public Information Act under certain circumstances. Data collection and reporting, requiring that law enforcement agencies to document, investigate, and post on a public website specified data requiring use of force. Next, at 708 62nd Avenue, the residence of Ms. Wong. She was served with a summons from the court in Prince George's County, Maryland, of the foreclosure on the property due to a tax lien that was on that property. This will make all attempted efforts to abate all issues involving this property by the Fairmount Heights Police Department and the Code Enforcement Unit as well. Concerning patrol, Prince George's County Police continues to assist the Fairmount Heights Police Department with patrol. And I will share with you the severity of the incident some of you may be aware of today, and by me being here from my training. There was a suspect, there was a call that went out for a suspect in the community who was having an argument with someone, and he pulled out a gun, put the gun back in his waistband, and fled from the area. Units responded to the area, and they could not find the subject when they did a canvass of the area. Once they put in the code to code it out, as units began to respond even more, the suspect was located. The suspect was located. Okay, the suspect was located, and the call went back out for him. As he began to flee from the area, he went to the intersection of Sheriff and Addison Road. While he was at Sheriff and Addison Road, trying to flee from the scene, he approached a woman in a vehicle and pulled on the handle of her door. What she did, she quickly, I'm thankful for what she did. She quickly tried to speed off, and while she was speeding off, the gentleman was holding on to the vehicle, and she hit another vehicle. As units began to proceed on in, the suspect took his weapon and shot himself in the head and died right there on the scene of the incident. And so with that, when notification was given to me, I left from training. I proceeded to the crime scene, made an assessment, got documentation and information. From that point, I went to Seat Pleasant Police Department, received documentation and information. From there, I went to the Prince George's County Homicide Unit, met with those detectives, and got documentation and information. And there's still going to be an ongoing investigation. But one thing of clarity that was noted and made, that the suspect did shoot himself and that there was no gunfire that was shot by a police officer. So to bring that to your attention tonight, because other things that could be said, but those are the actual facts that took place, that the suspect did take his life on scene. The woman was in a bit of a traumatic state, and she did receive medical attention, transported to the hospital. The person whose vehicle was hit also, too, they received medical attention on scene as well. But the incident did occur in the intersection of Sheriff and Addison Road. And Mayor and Council and citizen, that concludes my report for tonight. And thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant. Okay.
This is her.
All right. Appreciate that, Lieutenant. All right. Can you all still hear me on the line? Okay. Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a statement. Thank you. I wanted to make a statement concerning our line. Now, we do have a new system that we'll be using for the conference line. I talked with Ms. Walker this evening. The system is here. We knew it had been ordered, but it's here. That system is supposed to enable us to hear, whether, you know, we won't have to worry about taking a cell phone from one desk to the other and, you know, wiping it down and trying to do all these other things, because you never really know when you're completely right. You know, I'm thinking, because like when I walked into the middle here, see, everyone on the line lost me. Even though I could make a connection between the people that are in the room, but nobody else that was on the line could continue to hear me. So we're trying to remedy from all areas, and it's a very difficult position to be in. But I think we're working on it. It's much better than what it was at first. But we're working to get it to a system where it's just about perfect. Let's put it like that. And so one thing about it, with that new system, we won't have to worry about dialing in to these 1-800, they're not 1-800, but it's like the conference call line. Because, you know, with them, all they do is charge all that to your phone, because every time you dial in, they charge you. So, you know, we're working, hopefully, we're going to have that ironed out and have it working perfectly. The sound is coming through better also, because what Ms. Spann decided to make sure that we had a mic that was closer to us, because the other times when we had the meeting, we didn't even have a mic closer to it. We were trying to talk through the phone and, you know, use the production company or whatever we could do. But with this, it's making it much better. Making it much better. So I wanted to let everyone know, it's not like we're not working on it, because we are. Yes. I'm going to continue on down to Mr. Yeah.
While Lieutenant Ivy is still there, can I ask a really quick question regarding the incident this morning? If Lieutenant Ivy was on the scene, why did the Sea Pleasant Police Chief take on a news conference?
Okay. He was, Miss Gladden, he was in training. Did you hear me when I said?
Yeah, he also said he came to the scene.
I think by the time, what time did you get there? Late?
No, Miss Gladden, I arrived on the scene from training. I got there late.
Okay, so the incident happened about 8 o'clock, and then he did the news conference about noon.
Yeah.
I didn't know what time frame you were talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
He did the news conference until about noon time. Okay.
Yeah, because,
I'm just curious.
okay.
It happened in our jurisdiction. Why Sea Pleasant took on the,
Yeah.
news
You're
conference.
right. That's understandable. That's a notification was given to me late though.
Yeah.
And then I immediately left.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, is Mr. Pinckney, Mr. Pinckney didn't come in, did he? Does anyone else have Mr. Pinckney's report? Because I have it here. Okay. All right, I'll go on and read Mr. Pinckney's report. This is the monthly report for March the 4th, 2021 through April 8th, 2021. Code enforcement. During this period, we have issued the following business liens. Integrated Medical, 525 Eastern Avenue, $365. During this period, we have issued 2 building permits. T&B Capital at 6108 Colb Street, $160. Atuna Investment, 1005 58th Avenue, $650. During this period, we have received 1 vacant building registration fee, and that is for North Site Management, 721 58th Avenue, that was $200. We placed a stop work order on the property located at 803 61st Avenue for failure to obtain the proper building permit to repair the deck. Issued corrective notices to the following residents concerning the pickup of bulk items. Mr. Darrell Hester for 2 sofas, Miss Michelle Mitchell, 2 recliners. I have issued the owners of the property located at 5505 Jefferson Heights Drive a notice to remove all vehicles that is not on his property. I informed them that they should not have cut down a tree on someone else's property. I issued the owners of the property located at 910 59th Avenue a corrective notice concerning the trash and debris in the front yard. We also informed them about the parking of an unhatched trailer on the street. Our office has received a complaint from one of our citizens concerning the hanging out, the loitering at Sheriff Road carryout. The photos are included. What has been done about the excess inventory in the parking lot? Still waiting on the vacant lot ordinance. So this is the report left by Mr. Pinckney. So that's read into the record. Okay, we're going to go down to the treasurer's report. Mrs. Walker, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Thank you so much. Can you hear me, ma'am, Martin?
I can. Can everyone else hear you? I'll put my phone over closer. Okay.
Okay, I won't be on, I think that's fine. Good evening, everyone. I'm reporting the end of March. At the end of March, we have a net income of $24,685. Our total revenue this, fiscal year compared to last fiscal year, we have a decrease in our total revenue of about 23%, and that's mainly due to our decrease in revenue from building home rentals, tax liens, because we have not needed tax liens that we have been awarded, and then also the decrease in revenue from our police department. Our general revenue from property taxes and business licenses and building permits is $401,398. Our other revenue is $32,889. Overall, our expenses are continuing to process our expenses under budget. Our general government expenses are $41,373. Actually, we had no expenses this year in comparison to last year. We did have expenses. Legislative, which basically covers the mayor and council, $26,225. Again, that's a little different from that's a slight difference from last year because we did have some expenses at the beginning of the year last year for the council that we didn't have for this year. Municipal, which basically covers our utilities and upkeep of the building, $40,300. And then our savings department, $117,035, and our public works for $228,489. So again, we keep our expenses, we're able to keep them within the budget. Just overall, again, our revenue is down slightly from last year. As we go into the budget season, we're hoping that we'll be able to rebound some because things are opening up. We do have Mr. Pickett and I have a meeting on Friday to get the engineer to survey the parking lot so that we can address some of the suggestions that we received and some of the concerns that we have as far as the parking lot that will allow us to utilize that space more efficiently, allow a person who is renting that space to have a designated space that they're trying to just then opens up the opportunity for us to better utilize that space for public works and other equipment and storage that we need to use that space for. As Mayor Martin shared with you all earlier, we do have our new conference call equipment, that conference call equipment, I'm so sorry, trying to run that slow down. That conference call equipment is wireless, so we'll be able to use it in multiple, in different rooms, as well as in the lower level. We have had another seat for the lower level so we can have internet access. And so those are the main things I want to highlight. Mayor Martin and Councilman, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak this evening. You all take care and have a blessed evening. Good night.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. At this time, Mrs. Sarumi, are you ready to submit your report?
I tend to talk loud. So can you hear me? Okay.
Can you all hear Mrs. Sarumi on the line? The phone went over near her.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
that phone is
Great. Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. Good evening, citizens. And I am a bearer of good news. I'm going to really summarize the general part of my report, but talk mainly about items that we have been able to bring in substantial resources and funding and revenue. I'm going to start with the Net Zero Housing Development Project. The town of Fairmont Heights, on behalf of HIP, hosted several citizen engagement meetings to provide updated information on the Net Zero Housing Project and to hear comments and concerns from the residents. In addition, HIP presented PowerPoint presentations at the March 9th, 2021 session, and again at your March 17th session. On April 1st, April 1st, 2021, HIP, PEPCO, Maryland Energy Administration, and Emera of Florida and I met for a pre-press conference to discuss a microgrid system. And so you're wondering, what is a microgrid system? This is innovative and new in the entire country. So we're going to be the first. And all of this came out because of discussion that I was having with HIP and others concerning the incident that happened in Texas. As you all know, in Texas, when the power went out, when the grid went down, all the services did. So we came up with an idea of let's create a mini microgrid on the site. Now this is a demonstration project. So if it goes well, we can look at ways to do it throughout the town. So the good news is that PEPCO has pledged, and I think the mayor mentioned that at your work session, PEPCO has pledged $200,000 for this demonstration project. Yeah. I am so excited about that. Okay, so now the next item is again input from the citizens through the Housing Initiative Partnership, through a new, not new, but a government program called Neighborhood Economic Development. After input, and I want to thank the Civic Association and others who submit comments. So we listen. So one question that came about was, and I've heard this over the years, we're putting all this money into new housing. What about the old houses that are aged in your aging housing stock? Or what about senior citizen housing? What can we do to improve those houses? So through the NED program, through the county, we are being awarded $600,000. If you come out on Saturday to our Earth Day celebration, HIP will be here. And if anybody's interested in your friends, your neighbors, or you want to get your house repaired, I already got a couple calls. If you want to get your house repaired, improvements made to your house, we figured out that we could do at least 5 houses. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, about 5 to 6 houses at $12,000 each. And if this goes well, of course, we will go back and ask for additional money. But I think that's such a great improvement, so we can have not only the development of new housing, we want to be able to make improvements to the existing aging housing stock. And you have to realize that the average age or house, or when I talk about aging housing stock, most of the houses were built prior to 1955. So we're talking about housing. Yes, you need to pump in some capital. Some of them foundation. Got one call, one lady said her foundation was shifting. Some people, I'm not so sure they can do windows, but some houses need roofs. Some houses need updated porches. Some houses need windows. So I'm so excited about that. So now, back to the net zero housing lot. In order to create the microgrid, one of the things that we had to do, and I'm not so sure that we discussed this with the Civic Association, But we looked at the middle lot was a little larger than the average size of other lots. So in order to create a place to house a microgrid, we reduced all the lots to be the same size, but you still have a sizable lot. Each lot will be 50 feet by 115 feet. And thank you again, Mr. Barnhart and others. I know your biggest concern was the historic markers. We have created a mini park on the site, and we will include the historic markers and the exhibit box and some benches all on that one site. So my last statement is the revised plan enhances a greener development, additional tree canopies, and we will reduce the carbon footprint. And isn't that what the federal government wants us to do? Reduce the carbon footprint. By doing all of this, the housing is going to be energy efficient. We're going to have our own microgrid there. We're going to have trees there, prevent runoff into the Chesapeake Bay. So all of that is happening. Okay, so now let's talk about the Green Team monthly meeting. As most of you, I invite all of you. We have a very robust Green Team meeting, exciting meeting. So we meet every fourth Thursday, but I forgot to talk to council member if we could change our date this Thursday because we have Earth Day coming up. So we may not have it this Thursday. Due to COVID-19, the meetings are held virtually. Our last meeting was March the 25th at 6:30 p.m. Mike Humminghack, the program coordinator for Sustainable Maryland from the University of Maryland, reviewed the progress of the team and was excited about what he considered innovative demonstration programs. So now they created a new acronym, IDPs. So we have IDPs. He stated that after looking around the town's website, now, I may hear some comments about the website, but that website gets used. He said after looking around on the town's website, he found the Morehouse Project. Some of you as citizens may not know anything about the Morehouse Project, but 3 years ago maybe, Mayor Martin and Councilmember Waiters, they were invited to look at an innovative project that was done by, Okay, to look at an innovative project that Morehouse was doing. It was a competitive national application, and we were awarded $10,000 to come up with our IDPS. And so Mr. Humminghack has decided that such an innovative project will deserve 10 to 15 more points. And so what he's going to do is go back to Sustainable Maryland to include some of these projects that we're doing as innovative and perhaps not on this list of projects. So I'm really excited about that. Let me see. I want to thank everybody who participated. We had 11 additional participants, 4 guests, and as I said, our participants just grow every month, and I really am excited about it. One other exciting point for all the citizens, this is for children, this is for grandchildren, and this is a free training program available to anybody in Fairmont Heights. We partnered with Prince George's Community College and with the Black Mayors, Mayor Martin, I think the Black Mayors, to create the training classes that will lead to certification. One class is the Maryland Home Improvement Contractor's License. We're looking at a building analysis contractors like a building inspector. And to tie this into what's going on with PEPCO, they are willing to train and issue certifications for electric car mechanics. All this is coming to Fairmont Heights free of charge. As I mentioned at our Earth Day on Saturday, you can sign up for some of these things. You can sign up for the training, bring your children in. You can even sign up on behalf of your children. The only caveat to this is that you must have a GED, and you must be able to read or write, because some of the classes are really highly technical, and so they're looking for classes. What I didn't have in my report at our staff meeting was, and I'll talk to Ms. Walker about this, perhaps we can look at having some computers and laptops connect right here in town. So when we had to train for people who are not able to connect through Pepco, I'm not sorry, Comcast or Verizon, they could come in here for that. So I think that would be a great opportunity if we could do that. I just talked about Earth Day celebration. Everybody's invited to come out for Earth Day celebration. That will be on Saturday. We're going to start at 8:30. Already talked about some of our guests. HIP is going to be here. Somebody going to be here for Pepco. Mayor Martin, I think you said somebody from UCAP?
UCAP.
UCAP is
Yes.
coming. As I told the mayor, I really want to thank her for being an ambassador and talk about our program. So UCAP will be here because they have a similar program for home repair as well. In addition to that, we're going to do our first plant swap. And this is an interesting way if you're interested in gardening. And my goal, overall, my goal in doing Sustainable Maryland and these projects is that in the African American neighborhood, we have to become independent and sustain ourselves. Everybody can plant something. One project I looked at how a group of Boy Scouts use burlap bags or any kind of bag to plant potatoes. And I had planned on bringing my potato sample in here today. One plant of potato can produce 5 pounds of potatoes. Okay, so what I'm looking at is having demonstration. We're gonna do a demonstration on compost. I heard somebody talking about composting mulching before. We're gonna do composting 101. We're gonna bring in and show you how to compost. All of this paper that we shred, this can be compost. Toilet rolls can be compost. Food, no meat, no dairy products, but you can put all that stuff in a composting pile. When I asked Susan to let me go through your expenses and your bills for dumping, it shouldn't be that much, because if you recycle, if you bag up your grass cuttings, put them in a biodegradable paper bag, they will compost. I make my own compost, so they will compost. So we're gonna have a class on composting 101. We're gonna do a class on gardening 101. We're going to do our plant swap. We're going to have to do seed swaps. And I want to thank you, Councilmember Waiters, for translating everything I've done so far into Spanish. So hopefully we can get those flyers out tomorrow. So we want to make certain that this is all inclusive. So that's basically it that I want to present. I think at our last meeting, Councilman Hargrove, I did talk about creating a Fairmont Heights Environmental Center. And I think she made a comment that it would be competing with the project she's working on. Not at all. Most of the projects that I propose are so environmental friendly. When you finish and it's all over, you just roll it up, move it out of the way, and put it whatever you want to put there. Or the project is going to be so innovative, so green, it can be incorporated into aquaponics or anything else you're going to do. That's the end of my project. I mean, my report.
Mr. Roman.
You misquoted what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I wanted to let you know that you misquoted what I said.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm easy. I'm sorry.
Mr. Roman.
Okay. Ma'am, there was one other question one other comment that I wanted to make.
I don't know how to take a phone off.
Can't find it now. Okay.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Morgan, did you have something to add?
Yes. Mr. Roman, I think you get so excited when when you and your green team meetings, because we all don't always attend your green team meetings. I heard you kept saying that you was going to go with Ms. Walker, have a conversation about the budget or whatever. You keep saying Ms. Walker, but I think you should have those mayor and council meetings.
Oh, eventually it will. I'm only responding to an email Ms. Walker sent me.
Okay. So,
Yeah, she sent me asking me for items that may need to be included in the budget. So I assume once she get her due diligence and get input from the staff that it all goes back to you. So I'm only responding to what she asked me to do.
Also, I heard you talk about the 5 people who sign up for the hip to come in and do the renovations of people's homes. So how you all gonna pick and choose?
Oh, we don't. Oh, no, we
So
don't.
is it a be, so you're saying?
It would be done through HIP and that team. No, we do not. We are like the vehicle for you to register and sign up. It may be more than 5. What did I say, 12,000 times 5?
So you actually have to apply?
You have to apply.
Okay.
And that's why I'm encouraging everybody.
Okay.
Come in to apply. Okay. And the range is up to 12,000. Somebody could want to do a porch. That could be $5,000. Somebody may want to do screens for your windows. Somebody may want to replace a chimney for your house. So the range is up to 12,000. So we could do more houses. The good part is that I learned from from Mayor Martin, is that Miss Rashida from UCAP will be here, and they have a similar project. So actually we could do more than that. And even with Rashida's project or UCAP, they will select their own participants, not us.
Maybe throw a suggestion out there from the citizens or the council. Maybe throw a thing out there for the citizens and the council, because it may not be a category like a roof or something high. So maybe if you might just have some folks that has like you said, a bunch of screens. So maybe they can do some kind of list for us, since, you know.
Yeah, okay, I'll ask that.
You see what small stuff.
Yeah,
You may
right.
not have
Oh,
anybody
right.
that does big stuff.
Yeah, a project demonstration. I just
Right.
did a summary.
Right.
So I'll ask them to bring. They're gonna bring information Saturday, and the person who will be managing the project, she'll be here. Yeah.
I mean, but for the folks who don't come on Saturday, maybe you can follow back up for our
we
work
can.
session,
Yeah.
to have a conversation. Our work
Councilman
session.
Wade just mentioned, as we do our green team meeting, it's virtual. Then you mentioned that we could do this virtual as well. So we're going to, actually, I'll put that on the website as a news flash.
Right.
So we will have, everything we're gonna do on Saturday, it will be recorded, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because everybody may not get on the
Right.
green team meeting.
Right, I agree with that. I really agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and Councilman, I hope you're available. I recall when we did our first, what was the community, not the cleanup.
Cleanup.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, the cleanup. When we first did our farmer's market, I hope you're able to be here
I'm
without
not gonna be able
plans.
to be there this Saturday.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
have to catch you on the next one, or the next
Okay,
cleanup.
good. Okay, good. That's what I really wanted to say. I would like to really thank Lieutenant Ivy. I would like to thank Mayor Martin, Councilmember Waders, I think Councilmember Dotson, and some of the citizens. On April 10th, Anacostia Watershed Society was here, and they did a cleanup, and they have planted additional trees. So I want to thank everybody who participated in the cleanup and in the planting of the trees. I really thank them. So now we must be up to at least 80 new trees in the town of Fairmont, and all of that helps with the in terms of the draining of water and pollution in the Chesapeake Bay. So I think that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically for me.
Councilmember Waders, did you have something? Hold on for a moment, Mr. Roman.
I have a comment, but I want to finish what he said. The green team meeting, Boston said do what?
Oh, I did not send out an email or talk to you. I would like to cancel it. Or maybe reschedule, because I'm not gonna be able, it's just too much. For us to have a meeting on Thursday, then on Friday, we gotta set up, Saturday, we have this meeting. It's just too much. Yeah, for this month only, yeah.
I wanted to add just a real quick, Madam Mayor, just one.
Somebody saying hello.
Okay. Oh, just a moment. We have to move the telephone over.
So,
We have to move the telephone over.
Town meeting.
It's a town meeting.
Town meeting. No,
Hold on for a minute. Miss
Miss
Saxon, Miss Saxon, hold on. We're trying to move on down the agenda now. Everyone will get the opportunity at the end of the meeting for citizen comments. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, you're going to get the opportunity very shortly. Hello. How you doing? Good. Good. All right. Councilmember Waiters, did you have something else to add? Because I want to move on down.
I did, Councilman Gordon was asking for information, and I wanted to add to, UCAP. UCAP has funding for energy audits for people's homes, and it's current fiscal year funding that has to be used before the end of the fiscal year, which I believe is in June. So that's another resource to add to what Ms. Woman is saying in terms of if she's gonna be here on Saturday. So that will be another resource available to ask them about. They will do an energy audit on your home to find out where you may be losing things. So make sure that you ask about that as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Sarumi. We're going to move down now into new business. Now, I know that I think 3 of the council members, well, actually it was 4 that weren't here for work session. So we have some items here that you might have not been privy to. I'm not sure whether you received in your box. We had been delivered this from Mr. Pinckney. It was a letter from Mrs. Wilder. Did everyone get that letter? You got, okay. Well, the letter, I think we need to read this into the record. Did you get the letter, council member?
She brought it downstairs.
Okay. All right, I'm going to read the letter. It says, Mrs. Annie Wilder, 5509 Addison Road, Fairmount Heights, Maryland, 20743. It's in regard to a variance application continuation sheet. To whom it may concern, I am writing this letter to request a variance for my property at 5505 Addison Road, Fairmount Heights, Maryland. I am a senior citizen and I have custody of my growing 1-year-old grandson. I don't have an adequate backyard space because of the way the house was built on the lot prior to me and my deceased husband purchasing the home. I am requesting to enclose the existing porch to provide a safe, semi-outdoor space for my grandchild to play. It is very important for children to exercise daily and get as much sun as possible. This enclosed porch is necessary to keep me and my grandchild safe and healthy. This space will assist me in keeping him from running into the high-traffic street of Addison Road, but still allow him to get the exercise and sunlight that he needs daily. It will also keep us safe from COVID-19 since there are risks and restrictions on the public parks and playgrounds, and the fact that I am in a high-risk group for COVID. Safety is one of my top priorities for myself, my family, and my neighbors. Modifying the left side of the thoroughfare to accommodate a safe parking space for my vehicle off the very busy street, Addison Road, without also blocking the utilization of the thoroughfare utilized by the local government on my property. See the surveyor's plat. I have also posted a no parking sign on my property. See the surveyor's plat indicating property boundary. Also refer to a photograph of a no parking sign on my property. I know my neighbors can park on my side of Addison Road. Allow the driveway to be modified by Fairmount Heights to create the thoroughfare. See the photos provided. I pay for someone to cut the grass on the right side of my driveway that is used by the Fairmount Heights government. I am asking you to approve this variance request to enclose the existing porch. In the past, the local government has been allowed to make alterations to my property for the benefit and safety of the residents and government. I would like to be able to do the same. Best regards, Mrs. Annie Wilder. And Mrs. Wilder, would either you or your representative like to come forward? Would you all come right here to the middle and talk about this letter and give a little description about what you need? You can come right in the middle there. I hope your voice will carry, well.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You can probably talk into this phone too.
She's my aunt,
Uh-huh.
my uncle passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me to do this thing for her, so I submitted it to one of my architects that I do business with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a commercial builder in DC.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me to deal with this. And what we ran into with the county government is this issue of lot usage, which was created by the situation of the thoroughfare. Okay, and what we're trying to do is get the county to approve the variance. But the issue that's causing that conflict is what happened over the years with Fairmont Heights involved, is that the lot usage, she had no control over. So we're trying to get the two entities of Fairmont Heights and PG County to understand what's necessary to get the permit approved through Fairmont Heights. I mean, through PG County, because you all already approved the Fairmont Heights permit.
Okay.
We had paid the fees, and then they stopped in the middle. They took the money for the permit approval in PG County. But then they turned around and said, no, you used too much of the lot. But we're not using any more of the lot. We're building on the existing porch, the concrete foundation porch. The architect that worked for me just passed away 2 or 3 weeks ago due to something COVID related. So now I'm at a standstill trying to get some of his constituents to interact with PG County government. But the other avenue is to see if Fairmont Heights government will submit something to PG County stating that this is not something that she intentionally done. Okay, and that's where we're at right now. To get Fairmont Heights government to interact with PG County government to get the approval for the variance
Okay.
that PG County is asking for, not Fairmont Heights. Okay?
So I think you explained, I'm quite sure, well, by the packet here, that Mr. Pinckney has, all this has been explained to him, and the pictures and everything are here.
Yeah. And I provided him with a survey plat that the architect gave me, and I made little notations on the survey plat indicating what's going on here.
Right.
Because really, in theory, she did not pave all this property on her lot.
Okay.
And the no parking sign was put up by Fairmont Heights, not her. The girl that does my paperwork, she made some typo errors in terms of terminology in the letter that was submitted to you.
Okay.
It's actually a sign that was put up by Fairmont Heights government, showing that this is a thoroughfare to get to that building on whatever street that is.
On 60th Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in theory, you don't need that when you can go straight around 60.
Well, see, yeah, that, I understand that part of it, because for a long while, that particular area right there, because of the fact that the garage was there, it was like a cut through.
Yeah.
But it really, in essence, I don't even think that was supposed to happen. But it, that's probably how that sign got put up there. I know it's been there many, many years.
Right.
Yeah, so, what do you actually need besides a letter that will go to the?
Whatever you all can do to contact the permitting office in Landover and state that this shouldn't be an issue because we're building on existing structures, number one. Number two, the main thing is this reconfiguration of her property with the extra paving and everything was not done by her.
Okay.
Because if you look at what I noted on the variance, I mean, not the variance, the survey plat,
Uh-huh.
she doesn't need all that driveway. She just, they paved it right next to the porch that we're trying to build on, so that she could stay out of the way of the thoroughfare that they're using in front of.
Okay.
Whereas if you back it off and take that thoroughfare out of the equation, all she needed was she would be in the parameters of the lot usage. If they would back everything off, and just, cause she only has one car, and it's just her and my little cousin. I mean, that's all we're trying to do. And
Okay.
we had submitted this a year ago.
You didn't submit it, who'd you submit this to?
We started the permitting process.
Oh, you said submitted to the county, probably, yeah. And see, and then I don't know when this happened, because when the pandemic hit, you know, that shut down yeah. Cause I know it was just brought to my attention, yeah.
We would purchased all the lumber and everything, thank God. And now that I'm hearing about this hip thing.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
cause we're basically just trying to get it done. So,
Okay, all right. So, well, I appreciate you all coming. I want to ask at this time, is there anything else that the council would need from, let me get your name for the record?
Raymond Smith,
Mr. Smith.
yes.
I have a
I'm in
question
DC.
over there.
My company is Smith, Clark and Hyde, but we're switching to a Durability, get my minority certifications and everything changed over to that.
Okay. All right, do you
I
have,
don't deal with home improvement.
okay,
I'm a commercial builder. I do a lot of work with Hamel builders and Harkins builders and all that.
okay,
So she asked me to.
okay. All right, well, what I'll do, I'll give the council an opportunity to ask you any questions that they have, and then we'll take it from there. So, if you, Councilmember Hargrove,
Are you saying that, the lot and everything that has been done to it, I'm asking a question, that was done by, Fairmont Heights Town Government, or you're not sure?
From what we understand, yeah. I wasn't present.
Right, I understand.
This was long ago, probably before she bought the property, yes.
Okay. So you think, so, and because of the concrete and, the blacktop and all of that, Prince George's County is saying that you are overusing of the lot. I just wanted to make sure I understood what you said. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
okay. Are there any other questions for Mr. Smith? Because we want to get this resolved if at all possible. Ms. Syfax, right now I just need the council. I'll let you, you know, I don't want to start the back and forth, but I want to get them in because we need to try to get this approved.
But if that's an alley, and I know I had an alley back in my house, those little 2-year-old houses are gonna be an alley, and I hope that, you all will look into it and make sure that it's not blocking off an alley, because that's been an issue for 25 years.
Well, we'll have to,
Mayor, I think we need to have some more discussion.
They're using.
we are.
I think
It's
we
not
need
an alley.
to complete this tonight. Cause I don't even know where it's at.
Huh?
I don't even know where it's at.
You don't know where it's located. It's on Addison Road. 5500 block of Addison Road. So what is the pleasure of the council? Would you all want to have the opportunity to go past and take a look? When are we going to revisit
Is he
this?
asking for a letter of support on his behalf of getting the work done? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm saying that being that this is nothing that was created by the citizens, this was done by Fairmont Heights to get this rectified with the county, because I don't know what to do. I don't do home improvement, but her land is being used by Fairmont Heights as a thoroughfare.
Oh, okay.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
I mean, she pays her taxes. Hey, but she can't use her land the way she wants to.
Okay.
because it's being used by Fairmont Heights, who needs to rectify the problem with PG County, so we can get our building permit approved.
So Madam Mayor, can
Okay.
we just get Mr. Pena to take pictures and reconvene with the meeting with the council, and then we can contact whoever in the county needs to be contacted
Thank you.
to find out what we can do to move forward.
Okay, and then what I would do, I'll pack, you didn't see these pictures?
No.
He took these, this was a packet, well, he gave me the whole packet. But if he had actually been, he could explain it much better because he gave me a packet. So I'm gonna pass this, packet around so you all we can get copies and, everybody can see. I don't know when you all wanna reconvene. I know that he's trying to get it done ASAP because this has been waiting for, I know at least, yeah. Well, with the county, yeah, and then to expedite the process. So what is the pleasure of the council as far as moving forward with this?
Revisit it?
When?
We give Mr. Pinckney to make the phone call to find out who in the county we
Right.
can contact, and we'll set the meeting from there on as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, so we can do, I need your contact, Mr. Smith. Wait a minute, hold on for one moment. It wasn't on this paperwork, was it?
No.
Just need a telephone number, your cell number or something.
202
Uh-huh,
578
mm-hmm,
7948.
okay.
Just don't
Got
tell me
it.
that.
Okay, so
We never
Mr.
had
Pinckney
a
will be the
chance to
person calling you 9 times out of 10.
I'm gonna have to go look.
Okay,
Right.
all right, okay. Well, that's what, he just wanted to have some kind of structure as to what he should do. So this is that interaction that you wanted to get in front of the group, so you've had that opportunity. Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you all very much for your patience. I know it can be tedious with all these offices
Hey, I've been in
closed
for a
down.
day,
Yeah,
so I understand.
okay. All right, thank you. And Ms. Wilder, thank you for coming. We hope to get this worked out. We're gonna notify, I have your whole folder here. And I will, talk with Mr. Pinckney and we'll go on and start getting to the root causes of this. I'm gonna put this on my phone, take it back upstairs, but I'll give it to him tomorrow on that. Okay, all right, you're more than welcome. Yes. Uh-huh, you're welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
All right,
for
pleasure
coming.
meeting you. All right, there was a letter that was in everybody's box now. I hope everybody received this, because this was a letter from EAM Property Management, and it was written by Mr. Edward Morris Jr. And it says, here, I'm gonna read it into the record. Mayor Lily Thompson Martin, Town of Fairmont Heights. Dear Mayor Thompson Martin, as you may be aware, the vacant property across from the Veterans Memorial and north of the apartment building at 701 59th Place has been sold. The new owner's plans are currently unknown, but the permitting process will involve the town, and you'll be aware before we are. The property is being cleared within the next week. Current off-street parking on the old property will be eliminated, and parking is insufficient on the apartment lot to handle all the tenants' vehicles. Your assistance is requesting to have the town's public works crew remove the no parking signs or authorizing us to do so. The signs were originally installed at the request of our father, Edward W. Sonny Morris Sr., to discourage criminal activity before the street light was installed on the lamppost next to the driveway and a private light on the property. At that time, narcotics and prostitution were rampant on Eastern Avenue, and the space beside the apartment provided a convenient location for their trades to be practiced. The pandemic has put a crimp in those games, and hopefully those involved have moved into better, safer, and legal professions. If our request is approved, we will cover the cost of installing a handicap parking sign on the existing post and making the spaces on the pavement, marking the spaces on the pavement. If there is a need to discuss this request, please contact me at 412-8339. And it's signed Sincerely Edward W. Morris Jr. So it came out, it was posted on the 23rd of March, but this was in everyone's box, and hopefully you all had the chance, have you all had the opportunity to read this?
I have.
Okay. What about, I'm gonna give the opportunity now for comments, because, you know, we need to go in and get this taken care of too. Cause he already said the urgency about the property being sold, and they need to know how to move forward. So, anyone have any comments concerning this? Councilmember Wood Dodson.
These are just the signs along the vacant lot, not around the side of Veterans Memorial.
Well, it said on 59th, well, I think it's the 59th
Just
place.
for those two that are right there in the front.
Evidently, that's the ones that he must be talking about.
Okay.
You see the team? It must be the guy.
Somebody's talking.
I think it's the guy outside.
Somebody outside.
Okay,
I'll let him.
okay, yeah, his voice is coming through. Okay, was there any other discussion, Councilmember,
Basically what he's saying is that the signs were put up for safety. And and the times as far as safety goes hasn't changed very much. So I say no, let the sign stay there.
But that's on the public thoroughfare, and the people won't have any place to park on the main street.
I've been here since 2000, and I haven't seen too much on-street parking from that building. They usually have that space on side. I say no.
so you're saying leave the signs the
Leave
way
the
they are?
signs, yes, leave the signs.
Okay, I need to get some other comments on this. I'm gonna start with you, as a matter of fact, that puts you out, Councilmember Morris, because that's your uncle. So, you know, no sense in having you to put an input on that.
Well, he has to recuse himself anyway, he can't vote for somebody.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making sure that he's not having, if you could just leave it alone, let everybody else comment on it, I think it'd be better.
Well, what I was saying, Mayor Martin, the sign I think he's speaking of is right there in front. One is at the gate, and one is not quite up by Margie's, Miss Shelton's wall, but right
In
where the
between.
Spriggs used to live. It's right there. There's two signs right there where they used to, the trucks, everything used to park along there, and they stopped it. It's not by the little parking lot. There's no sign there. It's further down where the people that bought the lot is gonna embark on their property, saying, in front of your house, you can't park.
Oh,
That's where the signs are. If you get Mr. Pinckney to take pictures, you'll see. They're
But
not,
again, if they were put up
Okay.
for safety purposes.
they were put up there
Now,
to
according,
deter.
what he said, if they were put there for safety purposes, so what's changed?
The possibility of who bought the property might build houses.
And with that property, nobody can build a driveway?
Don't you park in front of your house?
No, I don't, I park in my driveway. You park in front of yours, but I park in front of my driveway.
Oh, okay, the little blue car is in front of your house.
Madam Mayor, let
Yes.
me take the
He said
pictures
me,
and
that's my
revisit it.
he can bring that back. I can.
That we call for comment.
Yeah.
I thought you was going around for comment.
I am. I was letting those people. You are
I'm
you
just giving clarity.
you giving a scenario?
Yeah, that's
Okay, Council Member Waiters.
We're going in that direction.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So for me, the current, if I heard you correctly, let me come closer so that they can't hear. For me, the property's been sold. Mr. Morris doesn't own it anymore.
Mm-mm.
The current existing signs, there's no one parking there. We don't know what the proposed living situation is going to be. Whether it's a driveway or whether it's not. There's still on-street parking. So the current council needs to take an assessment, it may be working for now. But I understand and say that those that are parking on the apartment, where the apartments are right now, that apartment is, can't park there anymore.
Right.
That's up to the current owner. We haven't heard from the current owner. The property's been sold. We don't know whether it's gonna be a home, two homes, how many tenants are gonna be in that, apartment. So where they've eliminated parking in the park, that's not on us. However, when it comes to a handicap and or signs that are installed, that's current resident applying or making, requests, just like the gentleman just left, to the mayor and council.
Right.
So Mr. Morris is no longer the owner.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, let's get other comments, let me see, I got yours, and what about yours, Councilmember Marks? Morgan.
I'm with her. Until, you know, if it's deterring right now, I say leave it alone. Until they build whatever, you know.
Until the
They
new,
might wanna keep the signs up to deter whatever was going on there.
until the new owners come
Until the
forward.
new owners come forward, exactly.
Okay, Councilmember Hargrove.
I agree with the, two former council members, that, we don't know what the situation is gonna be. Let the new owners make, I agree with the two former council members. We don't know what the new situation will be. And that new owner should come forward, you know, if he needs, any changes made. Up until that time, leave the situation the way it is.
Okay.
And Mr. Moore should be able to have a say-so since property is sold.
Huh?
I think he should have a say-so since the property is sold.
Yeah, but the letter came from his uncle.
Oh, the letter came from uncle?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason why I said
Oh, I
that.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
He has to recuse himself.
okay. All right, so he already did. You all right with that, Mr. Mark? Yeah, I mean, you know, might as well stay out of harm's way if you can.
I got enough parking situations.
Hey, okay, all right. Okay, we'll come to that solution with it. I think basically everyone is saying we can answer him back and say, let the new owners deal with the situation as far as the no parking signs and whatever they decide they're gonna do with that space.
Exactly.
I think that's a common consensus. I'm gonna put it.
Madam Mayor, let me just say this, and I'm not trying to persuade anybody anyway. I think that the way it's explained, the way you're interpreting the letter, there's a parking lot that's next to the apartment building that the existing tenants use. That lot has now been sold, and they will have nowhere to park.
Okay. You got street parking. They park on the street.
All right, just a moment, you all.
Then that's when you move the sign. They
Who's
don't
put your phone up there near so Morris can talk. Pull your mic down and put your phone up so she can hear what you're saying.
What I was saying is, the parking lot that the existing tenants in the apartment building have been using for the last 30 years has now been sold. So as of the sale, they will have nowhere to park except for on the street. So without taking the signs down, they're gonna park illegally. They have nowhere else to park.
And they do it every day.
Madam Mayor, may I comment? It's again, the last time. That's future, that's predicting. Right now, they're parking on the parking lot. If they have to park on the, can I finish?
Yes, they are.
This is what I'm saying. Currently, they're parking on the parking lot. If it becomes a parking issue, then whoever has the parking issue has to come in and just like he did, remove the signs. I don't think it's a problem removing the signs. I think we understand that the property has been sold. We don't know who's going to live there. I don't know anything about the apartment, but I'm speaking to the handicap install and painting the sidewalks. We don't know anybody handicap's gonna be living there.
They're already living there.
Well, he
Okay.
hasn't applied for that, a handicap, sign either.
Okay. I think we can come to common consensus though, that we can just wait until the owner, whoever the new owner is, makes the application as far as the situation. I don't know whether they might actually change the arrangements of it.
So,
I don't know.
And you still
Trevor
have to-
Morris is actually petitioning for the tenants in his apartment building that are living there now. That's who he's petitioning for. He doesn't care about the new owners as they come in. That's
Okay.
a different scenario.
Okay,
He's trying to say, where's the people that are paying rent in his apartment building?
Madam Mayor.
Want to park now.
okay, hold on. Yeah, but, okay, all right, the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't want this to get into a back and forth concern. That was the reason why I didn't want you in it, Mr. Morris.
I know, but
That was just the reason why.
You're misinterpreting this.
No, well, you know,
He doesn't care about the new people. He's caring about the people that are living in the apartment building, one of which works for this town.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, I see.
I think it applies.
Okay, all right, so that's it for you, Councilmember Hargrove.
Okay, my question is because you're talking about the park, are you talking about the property with, are you talking about the property, the grass property, or are you talking about the parking lot has been sold where the people are parking now?
Correct.
So the parking lot has been sold, not the property, not the grass property.
Everything to the right of the apartment building up to Miss Shelton's house has been sold.
That's right.
That's the grass.
Everything from the shelter house up.
All the way to the
Oh,
apartment.
okay.
Doesn't that include the apartment building?
Yeah,
No.
it
The parking
includes the
lot
parking
by the
grass.
building.
What, the parking lot on the backside of the apartment
The
building?
front, the
No.
back.
It
Okay,
is. That's
so
why I
here's
said.
what we're gonna do, but hope, Ms. Syfax, this is very important, because this has been sitting here since the last of March, so we're trying to get some general concept of how we're gonna move forward. We're gonna finish this very shortly, so if I,
Work session, so you should have done it at the work session.
okay, yeah, but it didn't get discussion. Okay, so now,
And I was on
I still, I
vacation.
wanna know if everyone wants to defer to the new owners. Like I said, maybe it's something that I'm missing also. But I think I can get the message back to him, and I probably have Mr. Pinckney too, because I don't know whether he had gotten a copy of this. I don't think he had, according to, Mr. Roomy, you got one. Where's Mr. Roomy? She gone? She might be gone. Okay, she got a copy of this, Ms. Tucker got a copy, and I got the actual letter. So we need to review this and find out, I wanted to see exactly what would be done as far as, he needs to get the temperature check and the sign.
Gloves,
Yeah.
sign in and take your temperature.
Okay, so, so I wanted to just get the consensus as to where we're gonna move with this. You know, if everyone is saying no, let the new owners handle it, we need to just convey that.
I say, defer to the new owners.
Okay, defer to the new owners.
Remove the sign.
Okay, so you want them to remove the sign.
And whoever.
Okay, what was you, council member?
I wanna get clarification. I mean, I'm confused as whether the parking lot with the citizens,
Right.
with the apartment
And it's
people are
two sides of the
parking now.
street.
I'd like to get clarification, and I guess, Madam Mayor, whenever we, have Mr. Pinckney check on the first gentleman, we'll have him check on this and get clarification.
Okay, I'll tell you what we can do. Now, you know very well that we can always have Mr. Morris to come in here for work session. If you all want that, I can ask him, it doesn't matter.
That's fine.
Would you like that?
Yes.
Yes.
That way he can give you more clarity on what they plan on doing. He might already know.
Property is there. He
Huh?
still does not own the property. He can come and talk to us.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put that down, that's what we'll do. Okay. Okay, all right, we're gonna move on down. The next item on this agenda was the circuit rider request letter. We talked about that when Senator Benson was here, and I think several members of the community were here also. The letter that came in was from the Maryland State Government concerning us getting a new circuit rider and participating in the circuit rider program. Now, we had that on the agenda for work session, but since we had several members that weren't here, the deadline was the 15th. And what I did is reached out to Miss Ann Stringer at the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development to let her know that the town is interested. I had not done a final count, so I did reach out to Miss Stringer to say we're interested. So the rest of the details, we're gonna have to get back to those at work session. This won't be until the 2022 program, so it's gonna take a little while for it to happen. Item number 4 is the resolution naming the white turtle head as the town flower. That was the resolution that Mr. Rumi was preparing from the green team, and I didn't receive that resolution, so we can't take any action on that. Oh, you have it? Oh, but did you give everyone the opportunity to read
I
it?
don't know whether she gave it the right
No.
copy or not.
No.
They weren't here
No.
for the- Excuse me, I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm sorry. They weren't here last week,
Okay.
Madam Mayor, and so Ms. Rumi had it last week, but for you to refer to it,
Mhm.
since you mentioned it, I have it here if you'd like to explain it.
Okay, what we can do, we need to give that, put that in everyone's box, have them review it, have it ready for work session coming up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to continue on down. Item number 5 was the amnesty for the businesses because of COVID-19. That was being organized and it still is by the treasurer. So as soon as she's ready to present that, the information, a letter has been drafted. She had to put final touches on it. So as soon as that's ready, she will do the final action on that. Because that was number 5. Okay, I have one item here on the old business, and that was the Pepco charging station update. Mr. Ruffin from Pepco was on our line on work session, and he talked about engineering and construction and the location, but one of the main things he talked about was the license agreement. So I'm going to have to get everyone on one accord as far as moving forward with these Pepco charging stations so that we can be along with New Carrollton, Mount Rainier, and I can't remember the other municipality that's already, their project is up and running. And you'll notice that everything you see now, all on TV, the President of the United States is talking about it. They're talking about electric vehicles and how popular that's going to be within the next few years. I heard that even Volvo was going to start producing a major amount of electric vehicles. That's going to be something that's very soon to be in front of us, and I think we need to be prepared. So I'm going to put this for more discussion on this agreement because we need to get that out so that our attorney can review it. Let everyone have the opportunity to read through the agreement, and we can notify Pepco that we're ready to make a decision. Our decision. We already voted to do it, but we need to finalize. So I'll put that it needs finalization. Okay, I'm gonna move on down to the mayor's report. First of all, I received a call this evening from Senator Benson. She was here last Saturday for a large meeting with the community, the mayor and the council, and she promised to get to MML to set up a meeting, and that meeting is going to be scheduled as soon as she gets me a date. She told of the possible dates that could work, and I told her that possibly a Wednesday, when it wasn't a meeting Wednesday, would work. And we would just need to put the information out, let everyone know. And MML wants to come in with some initiatives that they make this a better working relationship between the mayor, the council, and the community. So I'm waiting on her to finalize that, but I just wanted you all to know that she had contacted MML. She let me know. Okay, the next item is the mobile vaccine clinic. the clinic will be coming here as soon as I can have the opportunity to talk with them. I'll be talking to them on Friday at 11 o'clock to decide exactly how it will be set up, what the hours will be, and I'll give you all the specs. This will be a mobile clinic that they will come in and they will do the vaccine right here. Probably ideally it would be down here in this lower level because they have enough space where on one end you could have certain things, you know, whoever's going to be, how they give the vaccine. You know how they put the little screen up? They probably would have some screens they could put up, and with this being an open space, it might work. So just know that that mobile clinic, mobile vaccine center is coming.
With that, Mayor, are they also gonna be responsible for the sanitation of the building, or is that gonna be on us?
Sanitation, oh,
Yeah.
as far as people coming in?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. I have to talk to them about that. If we have to sanitize, we can sanitize. Who knows? They might want to do it out there on the parking lot.
okay.
But a lot of times though, you have to have an area where you can put up a petition because you could do maybe 4 or 5 people at a time.
Well, you were speaking about in here, so
Yeah.
I'm just asking, are they gonna come in and do the sanitation prior to, taking, people in here to give them the vaccine?
Okay, well, they'll let me know.
Okay.
They'll let me know. Okay, the PPE supplies here, especially this affects Public Works and the Police Department. We had the opportunity on Friday to pick up a large load of PPE that was donated from the county. I just happened to come across the email. It wasn't even really going to me, but they said you can pick up your supply of PPEs. I'm saying, yeah, I think we've already picked up one supply. But anyway, I sent back an email. They said, come on and get some more. So we have a big supply that's here and available. That's why what Mac has been doing, he's putting out a large amount. I think he forgot to put some out tonight. But he's putting out masks. He's putting out just gloves, things that they received. And plus this time they even received bleach and other kind of cleaning items. So it was really a golden opportunity, and I just happened to luck up on that. So that was great. Yep, and also we'll be scheduling a community meeting for the use of our stimulus money. I'm still waiting. I mentioned that on Saturday. Still waiting to get the final details as they come down from the package, the presidential package. Because you know, I think I mentioned that we are actually receiving $1,272,083 for the town of Fairmount Heights. So that is totally good news. Totally good news. I wanted to mention the celebration again for Mrs. Teresa Graves. It's going to be this coming Monday at 6 o'clock. It will be right down here on 60th Avenue in their driveway. They're going to set up a tent. They're going to do the balloons. They're just going to make it a joyous day for her because Monday is her birthday. But she'll be turning 100 years old. And I think I've mentioned it several times what a big help she was to the community. Because for one thing, what she always did, she got the kids on and off the buses. And you don't see people that do that. Once she retired, she would go right out there to that corner of L Street, and she would wait until everyone got on the bus. And when they came home in the evening, she was there with them. You don't know how much that means to a kid because they really feel comfortable to know that somebody is there. And that's what they call her. They call her nanny. Because she would go out and wait on the kids and in the morning to make sure they were on, and in the evening she would come back for them. And then that was after she would get up in the morning and sweep the street. Sweep it all the way from 60th Avenue, the middle of the block, all the way down to L Street. And keep it just spotless. So, you know, that's a lot. Not only that, she was one of our original neighborhood watch leaders here. When we had a very active neighborhood watch, she was the 60th Avenue leader. So, you know, that always deserves recognition. So her plaque and everything has already been prepared. I picked it up today. We're going to put a sound system. As a matter of fact, we're going to use our little speaker there and go out there for the driveway. And then I'll make that presentation to her. Her grandkids are going to give her whatever they're going to serve as far as food and everything. But it's gonna be a memorable day, and I think she'll enjoy it. But I just wanted to invite everyone to let you know that the town is actually gonna support, making sure that this happens.
That's next Monday?
At 6 o'clock. It'll be at 6. Okay, I received a very disturbing letter this evening, and I'm gonna read this. This letter was presented to me this evening about 3 o'clock, and it's addressed on April 5th, 2021. Mayor Lily Thompson Martin, Town of Fairmount Heights, 6100 Jaw Street, Fairmount Heights, Maryland, 20743. Dear Mayor Thompson Martin, it is with great reluctance we are submitting our resignation as members of the Board of Supervisors of Election, effective immediately. Due to the ongoing COVID pandemic in which many lives have been lost, we do not feel we will be able to fulfill our duties as the Board of Supervisors of Elections due to health concerns. We appreciate the opportunity to have served our community. And this is signed by Ms. Pamela Edwards, Ms. Sandra Cash, and Ms. Tiffany Jackson. So our whole board is wiped out. Just the stroke of a pen. So that puts me in a position, I have to hunt for people because we have an election that will be coming up in 2022. So in order to be prepared, I have to get out there and beat the bushes again and try to get somebody that's going to fill these positions. We need at least 3. At least 3. And then another thing that I'm working on is to have one additional person for the Ethics Commission. Because the ethics, I have one person that's resigned. And so all of these, I'm going to try to put the information out. I don't know whether it's going to be in the form of a news, a flyer on the website, wherever we're going to put it. But these positions have to be filled. But I just got that tonight, so I wanted everyone to know that that was what was happening on that. And I think that's just going to just about do it for me for, for a report. That's all I have. I'm going to start on the other side here with council member reports. I'm going to start with you, Council Member Morris.
Good evening. So the newsletter is in production and in graphic production. I'm still missing some reports from people. Whatever we don't have at this point, we're going to move forward to go to printing. So, Mayor, I'll have that, with the graphic design, I'll have a date and time when you all can approve everything.
Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, that was Councilmember Morris talking about the newsletter. Okay. Councilmember Morgan. All right, thanks for coming, folks. All right. Councilman. Okay.
On Friday, April the 9th, 2021, Councilmember Ukindu Uwaka hosted a meeting with the CDC, the Ethics Board member, and a few citizens. We were asked to keep the dialogue going, so I'd like to schedule that meeting as soon as possible that we decided that we would have the information session. And I think they wanted to have it on Fridays, but if we could decide to have it maybe once a month or, however we could decide that we would have it. Okay. I'm not sure if the citizens had received the,
All right, you all. Thanks for coming, Stacey. Okay.
the recycle card in the mail last month. So,
Thank you, Ms. Baker.
good night, good night.
Okay.
So it came in the mail last month from the county. I'd like to have part of that session on recycling. It is a whole lot of information on items that we should be recycling and items that we should not be recycling. On Monday, April the 19th, 2020, I saw a segment on the news, on Channel 9 News, and on recycling. And the items that are not on the card, also items that can be recycled, and now that can be recycled. So they were talking about the different things that can contaminate the plant. In the meantime, they use an example like the pizza box. You know, we put the pizza box in a recycling. But if it has that grease stain in it, then it contaminates things at the dump. So we have to do our due diligence to recycle the things that we should be recycling. I was gonna do a list of the do's and the don'ts and have Mr. Romy put it on the website and have Stella put it on the station. In the meantime, put those articles, those things on there also that you can contaminate, because, you know, they want you to empty out all the bottles, so they want you to rinse them out. Now I understand they want you to take the wrapping paper that's on the front of the bottles off.
Oh, no.
So it's a whole lot of extra stuff that, you know, think you recycling with just what they have on the card, but it's some extra stuff that goes along with it. So,
Okay,
and that's my report.
okay. Thank you. Councilmember Arkansas Walker.
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to give you a brief transparency. My phone is dead, so
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't.
let me see. You got, okay.
Okay, as I stated, I just wanted to do a brief transparency on the rebuild of the police department. Citizens, we held several meetings with Legit. The outcome of those meetings, they advised us to shut down the police department, develop a review board, and hire a new chief to hire new officers. Why this did not happen is as follows. It would have meant to dismiss Lieutenant Ivy and Mr. Pinckney. We did not want to do this because several citizens voiced their support for Lieutenant Ivy and expressed they did not want the police department shut down. In the meantime, Lieutenant Ivy introduced a program to staff the department with reservists. I met with him and Mrs. Walker, our treasurer. We developed a budget. Lieutenant Ivy took the initiative to gather applications for the program. We brought both applications and the budget to the mayor and council. And unfortunately, council members Wood Dodson and Waiters did not feel we should review the applications and asked for legal sufficiency. We all agreed. We held a meeting with our attorney. The attorney suggested we seek outside help from other law enforcement agencies. I, in turn, contacted 7 of our neighboring municipalities. 2 replied, and 1 committed to help, and 2 committed to help, and eventually 1 dropped out. We also contacted Prince George's Police Department, who also agreed to help, but needed the request in writing. A letter has been compiled, and I will present it to the mayor and council for approval before submitting it to Prince George's County. And once that letter is approved, if not approved, we will forward it and move forward with the process of getting that review board and assisting Lieutenant Ivy as well as the mayor and council in the selection of the reservists. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. All right, Councilmember Hargrove. There you go.
My report, waiting on the,
She's just starting.
this is
Okay.
Councilmember Hargrove for my report. I'm waiting on the approval for the variance for the Veterans Memorial. In the meeting with the veterans, they asked that a wall be included to have all the names of past veterans who have passed added to that wall, not just the World War II memorial wall. I explained to them that there would be two different, the World War II memorial is a historic site. If we did add the wall, that I didn't see a problem with adding any veterans who have passed, adding their names to that wall. They have compiled and still working on a list of veterans who have passed from Fairmont Heights, and people who once lived in Fairmont Heights and died in Vietnam, to that wall. Councilmember Morgan talked about the committee, the citizens requested that we move forward with having that committee monthly, and the spring newsletter, as Councilmember Morris has said, is going to design at this point. So hopefully that will be completed by this week, no later than next week. Thank you.
Okay.
And just
All right.
footnote, that meeting that we had was recorded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Wood Dodson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Being that I oversee services,
She can't hear you. You can, yeah, just slide it over there like that. Okay.
being that I oversee services, some of the services that were rendered this month was deliveries from UCAP. I think this week, some of the seniors in the community was delivered bags, probably Monday, Tuesday. Ms. Tucker has availability if anyone has a need for food. I've been going to the grab and goes as well as places that are giving out produce and fruit. And those that have called and left their names, I've delivered to the doors of, you know, different people in the community. As well, the new Greater Beulah Baptist on Central Avenue, you can phone in and they'll be given the COVID shot. You can register on Friday the 23rd from 1 to 7 if need. I'll leave the phone numbers with Ms. Tucker, or I can give it now as well. The number's 301-499-2319. Anyone that needs the COVID shot, they can register and get one there. As well, I have information in regard to anyone hard of hearing. They're given free phones that will connect, and they possibly will give you some service from an internet connector. The delivery and installation is free, the training and support is free, and it's a lifetime warranty. You'll get a phone, either they give you the choice of the Android or the house phone. I'll make sure I leave this information as well with Ms. Tucker in the office if need, or you can call me on 301-475-217. Park and Planning is giving a lot of virtual senior events in the month of May, that you can register for: exercise class, Zumba, line dancing, arts and craft, paint and sip. They have various events that are happening, as well as they have anyone needing health insurance. They have insurance that can help people during the time of COVID. So they're giving the fitness programs in the park through Park and Planning. You can either go on Maryland National Park and Planning's website and find out about the different events there. I intend to participate. Hopefully my eyes don't fail me, because I'm getting ready to have eye surgery, but on Saturday for Earth Day. And that's my report.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Waiters?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me on the phone? Miss Nancy, I believe you hear me. You just saying you can't hear. We hear you. We hear you. You hear. Madam Mayor.
When you finish,
Hold.
I have one more thing, I'm sorry. Madam Mayor, at this time, I would also like to have read into the record that as I have continually requested for a response for the letters that were stated on February 10th, 2020, and now I haven't even heard no mention anymore, other than in the town meeting on March the 17th, 2021, where I was told then that back when this was allocated, consensus was given to remove me from vice chair. I've gone back into the minutes. There are no minutes. This was a closed executive session to remove me on February the 10th, 2020. Once again, in response to these emergency meetings, they were all private or emergency meetings. They weren't in conjunction with the charter nor the meeting rules. There were no documents. And as being told I was insubordinate to you, I was never given anything in writing to solidify any of this. The letters that I was given, no signatures were given. So at this point, because of failure to receive any information back from, I have minutes all the way back to 2019, and my absence that I did have were justifiable. From this point on, I intend to sit in my seat as vice chair. There's nothing by way of the charter or the meeting rules or even the resolution from 2016 that specifies a removal. And with that, I would expect some kind of apology for being put in a position to be bullied, which isn't going to work. And some form of reinstatement for my vice chair should be put in place, being that no information, I've been asking for minutes for a while. I haven't gotten anything. So that be on the record. Thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna, let me finish up here. Councilmember Waiters?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I'm going to comment on what Councilmember Wisdowski just said, and then I'm gonna leave it alone. In the letter, she's been asking for, in the letter, it says that she missed 3 consecutive meetings. Based on whatever, I don't have it with me, but I'll pull it back. Per the reason why the council said that they removed her for 3 meetings, that's one of the reasons why I brought out the resolution that was passed. that states 3 consecutive. The charter says, well, here's the thing about it. If you miss these meetings as stated, it's up to the citizens to recall her. Not
Right, not
them.
Not the council.
For what they stated, it's in the charter. The citizens recall her, not the council. There's no minutes. There's not even for the state, the letter says that a vote of 6, I know for a fact that I did not vote. Not 6 to remove her. We never removed her from the seat. So what she's saying is, she doesn't have to be reinstated. She was not removed properly. And therefore, she's still vice chair. Now, I'm done with that part right there. They can say what they want to say, until they can do where they removed her, where they voted, and the minutes, it was not an executive session. It would have been an open meeting, but they cannot produce the documentation other than what council member, Up wrote. There are several other letters that I'll bring back to the same point, but I'm gonna go here, because at the very end of my report, I'm doing my report, and then I'm gonna comment. My report for composting, I wanna talk about composting. Ms. Rooney mentioned composting, but she didn't really go into in depth about composting and what it is and how it benefits, and I'd like for her to go into that. But in terms of composting, I attended District 3's meeting, which is not our county council person, but it was the topical subject they were talking about that benefited my listening ears. And one of the things that they're doing is they have a composting site. This is Department of Energy, Environment, have a composting site. I did not catch where it was, but it's a composting site. They are giving, just like you have the recycled trash cans, they're distributing composting containers to a certain number of people, and I didn't get where that's going to be, but it's going to filter out into the county, so we're gonna get them too. It's the same process as, from what I understand, the recycle, wherein they'll pick the composting up, but the effort is green and recycling and eliminating things that go to the dump unnecessarily. In terms of economic development, our last meeting, which was on, I believe, the 16th, was recorded. It is available for view. In that meeting, UCAP was there and gave an in-depth explanation about the project that's coming on. I won't reiterate that because we already talked about that. We also had Jonathan Taylor on the line, who's a developer, that came in and talked about the potential that we had. So those were our 2 guests. I talked about the upload, UCAP funding. I talked about UCAP funding. UCAP has several different funding sources in place. You get more information about that when UCAP is here on Saturday. One of them is an energy audit, though. The art show, we've applied for $15,000 in grant monies from Prince George's County Arts Council. $5,000 of the money is supposed to be used for the administrator to help us create a concept for the $10,000 grant. The art show, a virtual art show we're working on, is planned for the month of June. Prince George's County Art Council did commit to that. It's in the planning stage. We're waiting for them to get back to us, but it will take place in the month of June. I'd like to mention also with that, in the month of June, we're supposed to celebrate Juneteenth, aren't we? In terms of economic development, I want to mention this. Ms. Sasha, she's asked me about the tiny houses before. That was not, it's not a part of the plan, it's a suggestion plan. And while we're talking about suggestions, and again, this is some things we talk about in economic development, I've talked about it in our meeting, but to explain the tiny houses, we have quite a few lots in the town of Fairmont Heights that are not buildable. And so the suggestion as we infill is to see if, and to consider tiny houses on those lots. And I just, per the conversation, wondering if we could introduce a house that's energy efficient. A tiny house that's energy efficient, net zero, something like that. One of the first ones, I don't know. Just a thought. Green Team meeting has been canceled for this month. Economic Development meeting is on the 28th of this month at 7 o'clock. Everyone's invited to attend. I have the login information for you. You can get it before you leave. Otherwise, I'll send it out like I normally do. The Democratic Central Committee. Some people say it has nothing to do with us, but it does. I represent Democratic Central Committee District 24. And District 24 is inclusive to our legislative district, our Senator Benson, and the 3 delegates. So I work closely with them. But within the Democratic Central Committee, they created a municipal liaison team to work within the municipalities. I have the documentation. I won't read into the documentation because there's a correction that needs, but I'll share this with the mayor and council. What they're doing is a ground-root level effort to go around to different municipalities and let them know the importance of voting in local elections, meaning municipal elections. People tend to vote in gubernatorial or presidential, but don't vote at home. And so this is not just for municipalities, it's a grassroots effort to get voters involved. In addition to that, District 24 is planning a listening session. That listening session is to put before constituents, the leadership, legislative, congressional, senators, the county council, everyone that represents will come forth and speak. Madam Mayor, you're asked to speak on behalf of the town of Fairmont Heights. It's on the 18th, I believe, the date and time. I'll pass that over to you. But it's on the 18th, I believe, of May.
May 18th.
At 7 o'clock. In District 24, there are 4 municipalities: Glen RNC, Pleasant, Capitol Heights, and Fairmont Heights. The area goes from Lanham all the way over to Suitland. It also includes Largo and various other parts. It's a very large area. I think we're the largest area. It will be virtual. I'll pass that information on, but this will be an opportunity to meet with your county or higher leadership to see what they're doing. And it's a good time to do it because delegation, legislation, they just came out of legislative meetings and they passed legislation, and you need to know the legislation that was passed concerning you. I think that there's more, but it's a lot to share. Since COVID, it's been my concern, since COVID, that we address emergency operations. And I asked if we had a plan, and I was given a document, but this is a format for a plan. And when you look at it, there's so much that we are missing in terms of responsibilities should we have an emergency. Some of the titles: an emergency manager, communications coordinator, public information officer, evacuation coordinator, and it goes on and on and on. I was told that we had this in place, but this is a lot. If we do, where is it? If we don't, we need one. I'm not gonna go into a copy of a letter that I received, and the reason why I'm not gonna go into that is I wanna go back to the minutes. And I'm speaking to the citizens right now. Personal opinions of me don't matter. I have a job to do. I'm an elected official. I was elected twice into 2 offices. I was elected in the town of Fairmont Heights by the citizens. Personal opinions don't matter to me. I fight for the citizens. I'm being called names, saying I'm being disruptive in the meeting. It's recorded. It's the right kind of trouble for me. Someone is questioning my doctoral. That's no one's business, because I don't make that a point here. I don't demand that anybody call me doctor. But just for the record, I bought my transcripts, if anybody needs to know, and my certificates. I have, working on my 4th degree, I have an associate's, a bachelor's, I have a master's, and I'm working on a second master's. I diverted class type work for doctoral because I decided to work with special education. That was my next degree, but I decided to wait and get a degree in teaching special education because of my passion and the pandemic. Those are my personal choices. I say that because a couple of times my name has been read into public record that with information I didn't even know about, with no warning from my peers that it's going to be read one time, and then another time, I don't know what it was the last time they were reading stuff off, but my name has been mentioned. First time it was mentioned, Mayor called for a report. I said distinctly, Madam Mayor, that's not a report. It was a statement. My name was mentioned. I didn't get enough. I asked for a copy. Didn't get it. Another statement was read from 4 individuals. I asked for a copy. I was told to wait for the minutes to get. Those are minutes. I'm asking for a copy. Now let me justify. We passed the minutes for February the 19th. In the minutes, that were just passed and approved, okay. Councilmember Hargrove voiced she did not think anything should be read into the session that had not had, that we actually supposed to say we had not had the opportunity to review. What it is. She discussed that nothing should be read into the minutes that the sitting council has not had the opportunity to review. The reason she is saying that is because it is the same on that was working from council. I don't know what that means. Before it died. She's referring to the resolution. But what I'm referring to is the statement prior to that, where she says that we shouldn't read anything that we haven't had the opportunity. I am asking for a copy of what was read into the meeting the last time when the 4 of them were in the building and we were not. I am also asking that the statement, and this was in public record, should be, but Councilmember Moore said he taped me, which is illegal, saying that I was gonna get rid of you. He wasn't here, I brought it before the council. I expected the council to do something, didn't do anything about it, but yet I seem like every time something happens and I'm associated with it, it gets shot down. Like Zoom meetings. When we first resumed, we didn't have that. I actually used my personal account so that we could meet with the citizens. We couldn't go into executive session because nobody was qualified. 2 hours before I came to a meeting, I took the test, came around here, showed it to, when you got ready to go into, showed it to help. After that, I don't know who, everybody ran and got something that we always needed. So I'm not competing with anybody, Madam Mayor, but I do want to say, stop texting my phone. Emails, text messages with decisions and comments or whatever, don't send them to my phone. I'm at work, somebody says something, and the phone consistently ping, 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 and every statement is public. I'm just saying, it's public. So just to use as an example, when and I'm gonna explain this to everybody because I get questioned about it all the time. I don't know why Ms. Walker's on there, but she's a part of this chain. Per whatever the complaints are about me, Madam Mayor, I haven't received anything from the citizens for recall or Walker, anything. Until I do, I'm not defending anything in writing. Until I get something in writing, then I'll defend it. When I do, I want a public hearing because I'm going to respond publicly. But I want to share this. When I get a group text message so that it doesn't bother anybody, I put it on, take it off a group. So it goes directly to that person, I think, I don't know. Whatever. We're sitting here with Senator Benson in the meeting. The texters go back and forth between the four of them. And there's hold on, let me find it, because I do want this to go into public record, okay? Excuse me, let me find it. The message came, it was a text message. I didn't get it until I got home, because I was using my phone to record. The message said, when I stand up, y'all stand up with me. That's not verbatim. I didn't know what it said. I didn't know what it meant. So I got home and I asked a question. Stand up for what? She responds and asks me, why don't I say something or whatever? What am I scared of? What? I get a text message from Ms. Walker that said, excuse you? She's in a meeting until 8 o'clock. I asked one question. Stand up for what? Because it came to me. I don't know what it means, but it came at 9:55 when we were in a meeting with the senator, which shows you that they text back and forth. So I'm saying this. This is my phone. If there's something going on with the town's business, it should come through the clerk to the council or whatever. These decisions and opinions on the phone, text messages, and emails, 1 minute they want to go in executive session, but they're really talking in the email about the person that they want to go in executive. Keep my name out of it. When you bring my name into it, have sufficient information, because what was referred to happened when I was on the council before. The then sitting council made a decision in both cases. And another situation that was referred to went before the ethics board. I do have that paperwork. And a lot of what I have in support of, Councilmember Uck's name is on it because she was my vice chair. So I will bring all of that. Until I get the documentation, though, that was read into public record, I have a right to have it because they mentioned my name. When I get it, I'm going to respond. As for now, I want y'all to deal with that. It is illegal to record someone without telling them. I don't care what he says, I said, I was not warned. If he did tell me, he made a comment that he could give it to me on USB. Yo, if you can give it to me on USB, you did it. You did it without warning. So, I like her. I want to respond. I'm sick of, Madam Mayor, I'm really not. This is my report. This is how I feel. I'm really not trying to go back and forth. I don't want to hear that. I move my table away from the confusion. I don't want to go back and forth with this. She got her hand up. You can acknowledge her if she wants to, but if she said, I'm going to respond.
Okay,
Okay,
here's
so
where
you-
we
yeah,
are.
yeah, I'm going
Okay,
to-
are you finished with your report, council member?
Yep.
Because Mayor, you're on
And I
that text too.
think, okay, yeah, it's time for citizen participation.
Yes.
And we really have to do this. I'm not sure because my phone is over there being used to carry the line on. I don't know what time we have, but 10:15?
Yes.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to move on. I'm
you.
gonna say thanks to everyone that did their report. I cannot start going back and forth because it's gonna be all night.
It won't be less,
It's
it'll
gonna
be
be
less
all-
than 15 minutes.
15?
Less,
No,
less,
no,
than-
no,
less
I
than
don't,
5
Madam
minutes.
Mayor.
No, because
Less than
If it's
5
supposed to be
minutes.
resolved, I want to
Less than
special
2
meeting.
minutes.
So she can say what she got to say in a special meeting. I am not. I'm not.
I would like to say it in front of the citizens.
Well, but you know what? I think what we're gonna do because
No, don't do it now.
it's
Wait,
gonna
wait
be-
till the public hearing.
yeah, it's gonna be just a lot of going back and forth, and I wanna, the reports, everybody's giving their reports, and we have to move on. Everything, we're coming to the end of this meeting, but I want the citizens to have citizen participation. So I'm gonna move on to citizen participation. You all could, sort of, if you wanna come to the middle and talk, so that when everyone says they can hear, they can or cannot hear, you all can go on and get started.
Cause Miss Nancy not gonna hear it.
I'm gonna put it right up here, put this phone up, so hopefully everybody can hear it, 'cause I guess they can hear you. I'm not sure. Maybe you better come up a little bit closer so that you're gonna be near this phone.
Yes,
They might be able to hear you.
I have two things. First, I really have a problem with the town having people on the payroll and being told not to work. We got a town clerk in February, and my understanding is that because the town clerk didn't read something that was inappropriate, that she has been told not to work anymore until there's a meeting or something about whether she's gonna stay with town and be a town clerk or not. But I understand that, like Councilwoman Wood Dodson said, positions like that should be a public hearing. And the town clerk, my understanding, is still on the payroll. Now, we were very encouraged by the way that she performed. She sent out meeting notices, and she did what a town clerk is supposed to do very well. And because she did not do something that was not appropriate, none of us got meeting notices. So I wanted on the record that we have council people who have no problem in wasting our money while at the same time preventing us from being notified of meetings and also having high quality audio for the meetings. And I suggest that before Ms. Spann is removed or sanctioned in any way like that, that you find somebody else to perform her functions, and that while she's still here, that she be allowed to do her job. This is not grade school, geniuses. You cannot afford yourself the luxury of paying people to do nothing with our taxpayer dollars. Okay, the next thing is the proposed public housing development at the Melvin Crab House site. I attended the economic development meeting last month, and the executive director of UCAP gave a presentation on this project as if it's a done deal. I really don't understand that, because from what I see, the property at this point is zone shopping center. And it just appears from the presentations that have been made at the meetings that this public housing project is a done deal. Now, I know that when I was on the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation Board, one of the attorneys had Family Dollar as a client, and Family Dollar was considering putting a Family Dollar at the Melvin's Crab House site. So the attorney asked me to door knock with him and just get a sense of what the people in the area around Melvin's Crab House thought of having a Family Dollar store before they went any further. And the reaction was mixed. It wasn't negative. It was just mixed. So after the economic development meeting last month, the Citizens Association decided to do a survey of the households in the immediate vicinity of that Melvin's Crab House site. And at this point, we got written surveys signed by the households. We've got about 20. And we've also, surveyed the the Northeast Boundary Civic Association on the DC side, and we've also surveyed some of the people on the DC side. The reaction was very negative, strongly negative. They were also asked in the survey if they had been made aware of the idea of putting public housing on that site. None of them had been made aware. What we want to know, and I don't want to elaborate tonight because it's almost 10:30, but I have we have the email addresses and the phone numbers, contact information for these people. And we just want to know what, just can this go forward without citizens' input? And if the zoning has to be changed, but the impression that I got from the executive director of UCAP was that this was a done deal and it's just tough. And I've consulted with the Citizens Association attorney and some other people, and we just need some background. We just need to know we just need to know why this can be done. We need to know. I mean, has the mayor and council approved this project? I mean, but we, and maybe on the 28th, we can get in touch with everybody and that economic development committee meeting can start with the Melvin's Crab House, and we can get all these people on the Zoom meeting and just have everybody, our elected officials, just tell us, I don't know, tell us what, but we need, this is something really important, and like I said, on both sides, it is just not a good use of that land, and it shouldn't have been, a survey or something should have been done. And if you all heard the reasoning of these neighbors, because if you just listen to them, they need to be listened to on both sides, and the mayor and council need to go to some of these public housing developments in other parts of Prince George's County and just see why it's just not a good idea at that site where it's just a crime scene. It's really been cleaned up and stabilized, but that's just too close to other people's houses to put 38 public housing units. You're talking probably about 100 more people. And the council, we all need to go and look at some of these other projects. The executive director in the meeting, it started out, it was going to be senior citizens housing. Then she said, well, it might not necessarily be, but it's going to be public housing. And we really, and I think that's something that all of us can be united on and really go about looking into it and just seeing who cares about our concerns and who thinks that we have to deal with public, because the town has already had public housing. And what did we do? We got it torn down. And a whole lot of places in Prince George's County have had this public housing and all the problems that go with it, and they tear it down. We need to look at this very, very closely, and we need to know from the mayor and council, is this a done deal or not? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Sante. Let me just comment now. This information that you brought to us a moment ago, is the first that I have heard about it.
Thank you.
The last thing that had been said is that they will be getting with the town as far as discussions about the usage of that property. Now, the only thing that I heard a little sliver of is that it's going to be some type of housing. It did not give a description. We have never been invited to the table.
Mayor, this is why at the last meeting, I insisted on being a part of economic development. As Councilwoman Wade has said, that meeting is online and she can give you a link to it.
Well,
and everybody can listen to it and hear the executive director say that they just wanted to tell us about it, and they're gonna start doing the architectural drawings and all this. So all I'm saying is this might be something to unify the town, but perhaps Councilwoman Wade will send all of us the link so we can see
and
where
that
it is at this point. And I hope that everybody will take the chance to look at it.
And that's on the 28th.
No.
I thought you said it was on the 28th.
Mayor, what I'm saying is the March meeting is where the executive director of UCAP
made that statement.
discussed the project. So what I'm saying is everybody can fill themselves in on the first person basis. If that link,
Okay.
if we can look at the link, and I will try to give that link to the people, the citizens that signed the survey. And the people in DC, and so everybody can see where it is right now. And we can, move from there.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's helpful, Ms. Syfax.
Mayor,
Very helpful.
first I wanted to address her from the beginning. It has been going on and on and on, and several meetings that we have sitting here, she calls us names. If she can't address us to mayor and council.
Do you want to say that to Ms. Syfax?
Yes, and everybody else
You
who's
know.
in here. I'm just saying. But Mayor, you controls our meetings.
What's
Mayor, I know where you're
Okay,
going, but
hey.
what I'm saying is, if she can't address us to mayor and council, somebody else needs to say something. You hear her on several occasions, she calling us geniuses or fifth graders or what have you. If I don't address you like that, don't address me like that.
You do,
Because that's disrespect.
you do.
I do
Okay.
not address you like that.
Okay.
That's disrespect.
Okay, and I think that is.
I address you, Miss Syfax.
Councilmember Morgan, I think that is the way to do it. If you have something that you want to say personally to Ms. Syfax, and she's sitting right here, and you said that to her, I'm not supposed to screen all of every word she says and say, oh, you can't say this. She's on citizens participation. She said that I'm not listening for one thing, I'm recording notes here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, you said it to her the way you should have.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, is anyone else who wanted to come forward
But
for citizens
also-
participation?
Also, Ms. Syfax, I work for public housing in DC, so I understand. But no, we're not aware of anything that they say about public housing. Like Mayor said, they did say something to us about some type of housing, but that was it.
Yeah, let Mr. Barnhart go first.
Thank
Well,
you.
just
Yeah,
focus
we
in
know.
reference to what you just said.
'Cause
I mean,
I'm
not,
just-
Councilmember Morgan, it's about the project, full correction.
You know what?
I'm on,
Here, take it. You.
So in response, I do have, yes, I'll make that available, Ms. Syfax. When you say public housing, it's senior housing. I don't know whether it makes a difference or not, but it's senior housing, not public housing.
I know that.
In terms
Just
of,
listen to the video. and what
okay,
the lady said, it might
okay,
not
Ms.
be.
Syfax, I'm
That's
responding.
public housing.
Okay,
It's
Ms.
subsidized
Syfax,
housing. It's public
Ms.
housing.
Syfax, I'm responding now. We gave you your opportunity.
Look at the definition of public housing.
I will, Ms. Syfax, but can I say what I'm trying to say? The other concern was, and Mr. Pinckney said that, we permit, for as much time as we permit, in terms of regulating what's built, I don't think we've ever done that. We were told what was shared, that senior housing was coming. We thought it was assisted living first. They said it's independent living. But whatever is on the tape, it's there. UCAP will come back in and give a but the UCAP knows more about the project than we do. I'm on the board. I don't even know what they're talking about. It doesn't come to me, or it doesn't come to us like that. It still comes for approval. So it's two separate things, but at any given time, if you want further explanation, Ms. Jamison will meet and give a further explanation, but that conversation is with them.
But Councilwoman, you're on the board of
Okay.
UCAP, and
The board? I don't mix the two. I don't mix the two.
But it's, Councilwoman Ivy told me that when she became a member of the Prince George's County Council, that they had to get off of all these boards because it's a conflict of interest.
Oh, I don't know how that works.
What I'm saying is
I don't know how it works.
People that are around
Okay.
that site have not known about it, but you knew about it as a member of the board.
I did not know about it, Ms. Southfax, until they told us about it. I don't know
Okay.
any more than they know.
Conflict of interest.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Mr. Barnhart, would you please come on?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
For the sake of time, I have several items on here, but I know we've been here long enough, and I'm tired too. So I just want to get to the important one. So Lieutenant Ivy, he did come in town today. Like he said, he came in from training, all the way in town. He came all the way in town from training today because an incident occurred in our community where another life was taken. When are we gonna get to the point where we gonna stop passing the buck, sitting up here, going to the county, talking to Legit? When we had a meeting several months back, Legit said, along with the county, that they were just here to assist. They said that the power lies with the mayor and council when it comes down to directing a police department. Now, I understand that we need some assistance and we need some guidance, but it don't take this long. People are unsafe. They're feeling unsafe. They are scared. You have people getting cars broken into, houses broken into. You got high-speed chases, and you got people getting killed in your community, and your police officer is in training. It doesn't make sense. We need to get to the point where we stop playing around with this, with all this bickering and arguing and fighting amongst the council and the citizens and all this stuff, and let's get something done about getting the people some public safety. Now, this reserve program, we talked about this last year in November. Now we're going on May, and we still don't have a fully forced police department. We got one officer. How is that fair to him, working here in the town by himself? It's not fair. And it's not fair to us. We have a budget for a police department since Chief Watkins has left, and we still haven't used that budget. Where's that money going at? Okay? We need a department, and we need one now. It's in the charter that we're supposed to have a police department. We need to abide by the charter and get the citizens public safety. Councilwoman Hutt, we talked about this several times. Reinforced officers, county, Legit. When we gonna get to the point where we go ahead and start playing with this and get us some officers? Now, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay.
So my next one is, what can we do, or what is in place to have a security for our employees that work for our town government? And what I mean by that is, how do we protect the employees from being harassed and being mistreated? Because it was told on Saturday when Senator Benson was here, Miss Arlene Spann gave her testimony. And in that testimony, it identified that she was being mistreated. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go no further with that, but I want to know what's put in place, because the Citizens Association
if we have to call EEOC or even the state of Maryland, we will have to do that because these employees here, they are fearful. I can't even wave at the guys on the trash truck because I'm the president of the Citizens Association, and they scared if they talk to me, they're gonna lose their job. It doesn't make sense. We not supposed to be, we not supposed to operate like this. We supposed to be a close-knit community. But they are scared because they have a group here that obviously, if they want to take your head off, they can take your head off anytime they want to. So, I'm not gonna go no further with that, but I just want to know, police department and what's put in place to keep these employees from being harassed and mistreated. And you won't have people putting in a resignation about they don't want to be here no more if they're not being mistreated. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you,
Okay.
They stated that the election board has resigned as well. We don't even know what the reason with that is, but we hope there's some provisions is done with that as well as far as going to another municipality. They're bringing their election board when it's time for us to have our election. Because our election should not be held up because we can't find qualified candidates in our community to do that. Like the mayor said, it's a hard task to go out here in the community, to knock on doors and ask qualified people or people in general to help you in the town because they don't want to be involved. So for us to have a fully functioning government, we got to make a way for us to go ahead and have things like that happen. So if we got to go to another municipality and bar their election board, which would probably be good because that means that they don't know none of us anyway, and that would be best. That way there's no favoritism. I don't live down the street. I don't know him. I don't know her. That's probably the best way to do it anyway.
yes.
Thank you, man. Y'all have a nice
Okay,
time.
thank you.
Bonhart,
Okay,
did you want an
appreciate it.
answer, or you just
No,
want?
I do want to ask her to just sit down.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, sir, in response to what you're saying, you can even have a conversation with Lieutenant Ivy, and he will tell you how many blocks and stones that have been thrown in front of us as far as trying to go forward with this. Now, I'm on pretty much the last leg. I just need the mayor and the council to approve this letter to Prince George's County Police Department for their assistance in hiring, starting with the reservists, so that we can move forward to the hiring of a police chief and full-time police officers. That's all I need to do right now because, again, as I stated, I went to 7 of our neighboring municipalities. 2 responded and committed. 1 dropped out and 1 remains. So again, once I get this approved and once I get Prince George's County in here to help us with that and to help him, we can move forward.
Okay, can they hear you, Mr. Barnhart? I don't think so, because just a moment, and you can say
I'm
something.
gonna say this one thing, and I already know I've done said it before in the past, but Lieutenant Ivy's already been the acting chief already.
Yep.
He's already doing the job. He's already here.
Yeah.
Okay? All the time that we have wasted to get to whatever point that you're talking about, we're still wasting time. This man has been on the force almost 20 some odd years. He's already doing the job. He's already doing the paperwork. He's already been here, been active. Why wouldn't you have already made him the acting chief and already start putting that stuff in place? And then you could have went ahead and got a chief down the road if you wanted to do that. But at least you would have had somebody already established in there to give us some safety.
And as I stated in my letter, in my report, the reason that we did not follow legit's advice and suggestion for shutting down the police department, we made the decision not to shut down the police department. And in making that decision not to shut down the police department, that's the only way we were able to keep Lieutenant Ivy. Shutting down the police department would have meant every employee under the police department would have been let go.
Okay. All right,
But
okay, thank you, Mr.
All
Bonner.
I'm asking for is this, for the mayor and council to come to agreement to get us public safety and consider this man for being the chief, acting chief, whatever it is, so we can go ahead and move forward and have our streets patrolled. It doesn't make sense that we have people fearful of coming out their houses. You got all this activity going. I never liked for taking a day, and he out of town, or he in training.
He was in, he was in.
You know, it doesn't make sense. None of our officers were here. I pulled off my street at 8:35. I seen PG&C cousin flying down Addison Road.
Well, I will say this to that, sir. I didn't, Lieutenant Ivy came to me when he was going to be doing his on-site training. He came to me with a proposal of having someone sit and substitute for those 3 days while he's away. I made an attempt to bring it to the mayor and council, but everyone was scared to have the meeting with me because of the Open Meetings Act. That was this past Saturday. No one wanted to sit down with me and hear what he proposed to do for those 3 days because they're saying it was illegal for us to have an emergency personnel meeting. It was against the Open Meetings Act.
And it was.
And we couldn't have any, make no decisions.
All right, thank you. So, here, excuse me for one moment. Now, Ms. White, it's gonna be you, and then I got these couple of people on the line here, because we gotta get these people off here. We'll be sitting up here till 12 o'clock.
Okay. I didn't want to talk about the police department tonight. I wanted to talk about my street, having these signs removed. But I'm going to address the situation with the police department. Ms. Up promised citizens' participation in her organization. We haven't had that. So at this point, we don't believe it. We had 4 major situations that happened in the last 2 months in Fairmont Heights. Someone got shot at the Ebony Inn. We had the situation today. We had, it didn't happen in Fairmont Heights, but close to it, behind the fire department. And then we had another situation on a Saturday, at midday, when they were shooting through the town. You know, at this point, we don't believe her because we're not there to witness anything. We know that we don't have a police department. One police officer, like Mr. Barnhart said, why can't we have him as the acting chief at least until we can find somebody else? Someone who knows their job to put situations in place to keep us safe. And that's all I had to say.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, on the line, the people on the line, I don't know how many are on now, still on. Will you all please line yourselves up and be courteous to one another, because we're going to have to finish this meeting sometime tonight. Yes, you do. Now's your opportunity.
Okay, can I speak now?
Yes.
What I want to say real quick, up there, this is the lady about the burn with the court, begging to talk to me because that was read earlier when I was first on the council. Before any of these new people came, we don't know.
Could you move the phone up to the mic?
Okay, all right, thank you, Ms. Saxon. All right, who is the next person on the line?
Man, this is Kim Glad. I'll be really quick because it's
Okay.
super late and I know everybody want to go home and go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
I just want to reiterate, the public safety in this town is in jeopardy. And I want to share with Ms. Upstead, when she keeps saying we made the decision not to get rid of our police department, I'm not sure who she's referred to as we, because as Ms. White said, she indicated that there would be public participation. As Ms. White said, there's been at least 4 major incidents in this town over the past 30 days, less than 30 days. In the past 18 days, there's been 3 major incidents. And when I say major, I mean gunfire, someone, losing their life, not counting today. We don't need a police officer that's sitting in the town hall doing paperwork. We need a police officer that's boots on the ground. I've been teleworking like many of us have for the past 15 months. My house sits at the corner of 60th and Sheriff Road. I can sit here at my desk while I'm working, and at any given time, morning, afternoon, night, you see police officers flying up and down Sheriff Road multiple times a day, at least 2 or 3 days a week. PG County police officers in other jurisdictions. Do we see Mama Heights, Lieutenant Ivy out there? No, we do not. Lieutenant Ivy has said himself. He has said himself he does not patrol Monday through Friday because he's in there doing paperwork. We don't need an officer. We don't need to be paying an officer to do paperwork. He said he patrols on the weekends. That's not what we need. I recall a kid coming in, and they did a meeting last fall, or maybe last September, October, and one of the gentlemen's recommendations is, if Lieutenant Ivy wants that job, have him apply and have it, make it a competitive position. How many positions you know somebody that gets handed a police chief position? If Lieutenant Ivy wants a position, have him apply, and make it competitive. Have other people apply. I don't think Lieutenant Ivy or no one else for that matter should be handed the position of police chief. And we don't need no police chief sitting in the office when all of this riffraff is going on in our town. We deserve better. Our taxpayer money deserves better. And I want this to go on the record. There was a personal police incident at my mother's house 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago to this day, that was handled inappropriately. I put this to the attention of the town. To this day, I haven't gotten a response. Yes, it's a legal matter, and it's going to be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. And I'm doing this on behalf of my mother. I want you to know, I'm 52 years old. I was born in the town of Fairmont Heights. My parents have lived in their house when my mother don't live in her house. My mother is still a legal resident of Fairmont Heights. She still pays taxes in Fairmont Heights. She hasn't physically lived in Fairmont Heights in the past 2.5 years because she's 91 years old and she lives in an assisted living facility. But she still pays taxes to the town of Fairmont Heights. And this is the services she receives or we receive. My husband and I have been residents of the town of Fairmont Heights for 17 years. We don't live in my mother's house. When you add that up, my mother's been paying taxes for 52 years. My husband and I have been paying taxes for 17 years. And we can't get basic services? Basic services? You're saying we have made the decision. Who is we? Where's the committee? This public safety affects all of us. I'm sorry? The sheriff of the county road, so that's why the police up and down. Is coming over here providing services. Again, when that incident happened at my mother's house, Lieutenant Ivy showed up, but that's about all he did was show up. Steve Clement went in and got that gentleman out of my mother's house. Steve Clement showed up with the body cameras. Steve Clement showed up with the battering ram to open the door because the gentleman was barricading the door. We made the incident today. Lieutenant Ivy said he showed up, but the police chief from Steve Clement, he was facing the cameras. Are we paying Steve Clement? Why do we need a Fairmont Heights Police Department if Steve Clement in the county is providing services? That's the law.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Ms. Gladden. Is there anyone else?
Our public safety is in jeopardy and it needs to be addressed quickly. This has been going on for way too
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Gladden. Is there anyone else on the line?
Mr. Barnard called me.
No, Mr. Barnard is on. Okay, I want to thank you all for the people that are online and the people who are in the building. I want to say thank you all for coming. And at this time, I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
So moved. I made the motion.
Executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor?
I just made the motion. Where you go?
Okay, well,
No,
who
go
who
ahead.
made it? Because I need to record
I said
it.
so moved. He said I moved. I said so moved. She said she second. Two people made the motion.
Okay, who
I made
wants
the
to be
motion,
recorded?
man.
Okay, I have you making it, and you, Councilman, okay, I guess you made the second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourning. You all have a good night on the line. Closing out. Stop running my phone bill up.